Little Jur or Kami's lay shines for you. Since she was very young, Xiao Jur had a dream, which was to become a combat model. Don't look down on the profession of model. Models on Pocket Star are different from those in other worlds. Models on Pocket Star must have good looks and good Poké Copyright Monday combat capabilities, because Pocket Star relies on Poké Copyright Monday to speak. As the granddaughter of the patriarch of the Thunder Pattern family, Xiao Jur has the responsibility to protect Thunder Pattern City in the future. Therefore, her Poké Copyright Monday training is pretty good, but she is not confident about her appearance. After all, for some reason, skinny figures were popular in the modeling industry at that time. Therefore, Xiao Jur, who always pays attention to fashion magazines, started a diet control plan. However, not having a regular diet plan can cause great harm to the human body, so Xiao Jur fainted due to malnutrition while traveling to Hollywood. Originally, when seeing this beauty fall to the ground, many people were planning to take action to win her favor, but someone was faster than them. It was a little boy holding Piku. He fainted from hunger due to malnutrition. The hospital is far away, so let's take him to the baby center first. Meow, boss, do you want me to give her some of the fish? Ash looked at the fish Meowth handed over and said speechlessly, no, eat it yourself. She can't eat it now. What's wrong with her, Ash? Diantha, who had just solved her own troubles, was in a good mood and went shopping with Ash and others. Who knew that they would encounter someone fainting? As expected, Ash went to see the person. It's okay, Sister Diantha, this person fainted due to malnutrition. The hospital is far away, so it would be better to send him to the Poké Copyright Monday Center first. Okay, then I'll help. It was not surprising that Ash would help Diantha, after all, he had helped himself before. Later, with the help of Ash's mother Delia and Diantha, little Daisy was sent to the Poké Copyright Monday Center, and Ash borrowed the kitchen of the Poké Copyright Monday Center to make some nutritious food. When Xiao Jur woke up, she saw Meowth happily eating grilled fish and a pickle licking ketchup angrily. What's wrong? You're awake, Meow? You suddenly fainted from hunger and all the bosses brought you back. When Xiao Jur heard Meowth speaking while eating grilled fish, she showed a surprised expression. Talking Meowth. Yeah Meow, I can talk, but you better wait for now, the boss is going to cook. Boss. When she first heard the word boss, Xiao Jur thought it would be a boss who looked very tough. However, when Ash came to her with the freshly prepared nutritious side dishes, she realized that she was wrong. You're awake now, come and eat something. Don't you know that it will cause chaos if you suddenly faint on the street? Being lectured by a little brother was Xiao Jur's first thought. Of course, she also knew that her fainting must have caused a lot of trouble. I'm sorry, I didn't expect that. So the model magazines nowadays are really harmful to people. The skinny beauty is just malnutrition. Why? Xiao Jur didn't expect that Ash would know why she fainted, and Ash said a little embarrassedly, sorry, in order to verify your identity, I asked Sister Juncha to look through your bag, and then I saw a bunch of magazines, all the latest models. Ash said as he picked up the magazine next to Jur and took a look at it. I really don't know what's so good about a bunch of malnourished people. You are still young and don't learn well. Although she wanted to snatch her magazine back, Xiao Jur, who had long been too hungry to have the strength, could only say this helplessly. Ash put down the magazine and said, I am telling the truth. There is nothing good about such malnourished people. But eat something before I say this. Don't want. Although she was very grateful to Ash for saving her, Xiao Jur was still a little angry. However, when Ash handed her a bowl of porridge, her body froze. That bowl of porridge is so delicious. Come and have a taste. This bowl of porridge is so delicious that even people with mild anorexia would eat it. Ash's voice was like the whisper of a devil, but just as Ash said, Xiao Jur herself now had a slight anorexia, but now she felt the urge to eat again. Can you, feed me? Xiao Jur's voice was very low, but Ash still heard it, so he put the bowl aside and said, okay, but you have to get up first. As he spoke, Ash put the pillow behind Xiao Jur so that she could sit up more comfortably, and Xiao Jur obediently let Ash help her. Okay, it's a little hot. Do you want to blow it yourself or should I help you? You. Xiao Jur didn't know what she was saying now. Ash was just a child, but she felt a sense of maturity. Ash's care for her gave her a shining feeling. Ash didn't realize that Jur was observing him. Piku and Meowth were eating their lunch so they didn't notice. In the whole room, only Jur knew that she was observing Ash. When Ash handed the porridge to her mouth after blowing it, she whispered, thank you, my name is Kamisley, you can also call me Xiao Jur, my dream is to become a combat model. Oh? My name is Ash, Ash from Pallet Town, and my dream is to become rich and become a big boss. Pucci, what a simple wish. Yeah, open your mouth. This was the first time Ash and Jewel met. Jewel initially treated Ash as a little brother, but as time went by and the two spent time together, this feeling changed. The time when Xiao Jur really realized this feeling was when Ash helped her as her agent. Sister Kamisley, I've always wondered what the hell is going on when you asked me to be your manager. Didn't your family prepare for you? Hehe, of course I know, I just want you to see how I realize my dream. You talk as if I haven't achieved my dream yet. I'm rich now. Pikachu on the side shook his head speechlessly and called out to Meowth beside him. Pikapi. Ash is showing off again, well, what the boss said is true. Seeing Ash like this, Xiao Jur said helplessly, okay, Kamisley is a name used by outsiders. Ash, you can just call me Xiao Jur. But I want you to witness the moment of my success, okay? Speaking of this, Xiao Jur felt a little embarrassed. After all, in addition to her own efforts, she has been able to get to where she is today with the silent support of Ash. If it weren't for Ash's silent support, Xiao Jur felt that she might be crushed by the pressure of the dream. Ash looked at Xiao Jur and smiled, then walked over to touch her forehead and said, don't worry, Sister Jur, I will always be behind you and support you silently. You just need to remember that I will always be there to support you, and you will never be alone in your journey. Xiao Jur was stunned for a moment when she heard Ash's words, but then she smiled with relief. That's right, Ash, you've always been behind me and supported me, but I've gotten used to it. I'm such a failure as a sister. As she spoke, Xiaojue felt her eyes getting wet, but Ash held her face and wiped away her tears with his thumb and said, this shows that I did a good job, right? I said I would support you silently, so now, Sister Xiaojue, you should show your most shining side to fulfill your dream. At that moment, Xiaojue finally realized that her feelings for Ash had changed a long time ago. She loved Ash, but she had never faced this feeling. Now Xiaojue finally faced her heart, so Xiaojue smiled and said to Ash, then please watch, Ash, this moment of mine is shining for you. Afterwards, Xiaojue completed her dream with ease, and then she and Ash held up the trophy that represented the pinnacle of combat models. Xiaojue looked at Ash and spoke with lips. See, Ash? Now both of us are shining. In my eyes, you have always been the brightest, Sister Jure. The two smiled at each other and clasped their hands holding the trophy together. Do you know? At this moment, I shine for you know, in fact, you have always been the brightest star in my eyes. Chapter 1. I am an ordinary person for the time being, and my former name is no longer important with my death. After all, for me who is already dead, those are all in the past. Let me tell you something very unexpected. I was reborn. Not only that, I was reborn into the world of Pet Poké Copyright Monday. This made me very happy, even though my memory has only just been restored. After all, the pressure after becoming an adult in the original world was very great, so great that it was hard to breathe. But for me, it was no big deal. After building my own career through my own efforts, I could still have a little rest. But just when I thought that everything could go on in a relatively dull way, my girlfriend suffered from anorexia. In order to help her treat anorexia, I visited many famous doctors and even learned a lot of medical and nutritional knowledge, but all of these were useless in the end. So I could only try my best to improve my cooking skills to cater to my girlfriend's taste. But the reality was cruel. Due to unknown reasons, her anorexia became more and more serious, and in the end she could only survive on glucose. I was powerless to do anything as I watched her body become thinner and thinner. In the end, I could only watch her pass away. Maybe it was because I was too tired, I couldn't get up after that. Although I may feel sorry for my friends and relatives, I believe that the property I leave behind will be enough for my relatives and my girlfriend's parents to worry free after their death. Now that I have been reborn, I should start a new life in this world that I love and regret. I love it because Poké Copyright Monday is a timeless classic in my childhood, but I regret it because Fujita, you go eat shit. It's a pity that you didn't get hacked to death, BD. Healing Shuriken. Now that I'm reborn, to be honest, I don't have much fighting spirit anymore. What I want to do now is to make up for my regrets and try to train some stupid thing to become the legendary Red Lord. This is how it should be. Ash, stop daydreaming, Piku is here to see you again. Following a gentle female voice, Ash turned his head and smiled softly. I know, Mom. I'll go get some ketchup first. The kid loves ketchup. That's right, I'm a fool now. Who would have thought that I would be reborn as the legendary fool? Now I'm really in pain. Forget it, let's prepare some food for the kid first. Ash took out a bottle of ketchup and opened the lid, then handed it to Piku who was waiting in Delia's arms. The little guy started licking it with shining eyes. Looking at Piku licking ketchup happily, Ash smiled, put on an apron, and started preparing lunch under Delia's pleased eyes. Ash, I've signed you up for summer camp, so go meet up with your other friends then. At the dinner table, while eating lunch, Delia told Ash something that was quite unexpected. Mom, you're acting without my permission. I'm too busy here. Hey, your friends should be okay with Professor Oak helping to look after them, right? Ash sighed slightly after hearing Delia say this, then patted the window. Whoosh. 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 Instantly, multiple heads popped up, and they looked at Ash with green eyes, and Ash said helplessly, come in. Then a group of Poké Copyright Monday entered Ash's house in an orderly manner, but they all held delicacies from land and sea in their hands, which were obviously rare high-end products. Looking at a group of Poké Copyright Monday who were offering delicacies to him, Ash said helplessly, if the things you brought weren't valuable, we would have been bankrupted by you. Wow. Roar. Quack. The one who responded to Ash was a group of shameless growl guys who were not afraid of eating for free. Chapter 2. Professor Oak, I have found a new recipe here that should have a better effect on Poké Copyright Monday. When Professor Oak heard Ash's voice, he turned around and said with a smile, you have made a new discovery. What did you find by eating something random this time? Looking at Professor Oak, little Ash said speechlessly, Professor Oak, I told you I didn't eat them blindly, but Poké Copyright Monday gave them to me. They are much better at surviving in the wild than us. I see. But humans and Poké Copyright Monday are different. So let me see your formula. If it works, your family will have a lot of money. Professor Oak did not underestimate Ash. After all, Ash had made a lot of good prescriptions through the things provided by Poké Copyright Monday, which made it much more convenient for trainers in Poké Copyright Monday. Although Professor Oak could hardly imagine how Ash could come up with these ideas, the only thing he could be sure of was that Ash was definitely a genius. If Ash knew Professor Oak's evaluation, he would probably laugh out loud. What genius? He just borrowed the medical knowledge from his previous life. Many things in the Poké Copyright Monday world are similar to those on Earth, but they are more effective. Therefore, Ash, who has excellent medical knowledge, is of course good at making medicines. Just like Ash cooking, these are skills deeply memorized. The reason why Ash gave the formula to Professor Oak was because of Professor Oak's relationship with Ash and Delia, who were able to obtain the patent smoothly. Although Pocket Star is indeed beautiful, there are also some annoying scums. After observing Professor Oak for a period of time, Boyu was sure that he was a good person like in the animation, so Ash found an opportunity to let Professor Oak discover his ability to make medicine, and then use Professor Oak's hand to obtain a patent and promote it. Of course, Ash didn't ask Professor Oak for help for nothing. After obtaining the patent, Ash would tell Professor Oak why he got the materials from Poké Copyright Monday and why. This gave Professor Oak more research topics. If you ask why Ash is so busy, there is only one reason, and that is money. Yes, it's cheesy, but Ash does everything for the money. In his previous life, Ash, as a Chinese, loved hoarding supplies the most. After being reborn on Pocket Planet, Ash set his sights on making money in order to have an easier time when traveling. However, it must be said that Ash's plan was very successful. Since Ash's prescription was not only effective for Poké Copyright Monday but also for humans, Ash was favored by the Joy family. They even planned to send a Joy as Ash's marriage partner to tie him down. I have to say here that polygamy is allowed on Pocket Star, and now the patents of potion formulas that Ash continues to launch are enough for him to support many wives. This is not a joke. The medical field on Poké Copyright Monday Star is almost monopolized. After all, the Joy family has always been in charge of Poké Copyright Monday doctors, so the development of drugs can only rely on the Joy family. Ash's appearance surprised the Joy family. After all, it was the doctors who used Ash's formula, and Ash's formula also made these doctors earn a lot. Another point is that Ash is still young. The Joy family knows that the sooner they get in touch with such a genius, the better. Even if Ash cannot launch a new prescription in the future, it doesn't matter. Now this is enough, so they became the second family to support Ash. The first family? Of course, it is Professor Oak's Oak family. Ash is a grateful person, so he did not take all the patent fees, but gave some to his good friend Gary. Although it seems like an incomprehensible operation, it has won the praise of the Oak family. Professor Oak likes Ash more and more because he is grateful and capable, and even treats him like another grandson. After all, Professor Oak really likes the sensible Ash. Chapter 3. Oh. In other words, the drug material this time was provided by Beedrill? Then it seems that the material can be obtained from the Beedrill breeders, which is really amazing, Ash. Professor Oak was also very satisfied after reading Ash's new honey water recipe. Not only does it taste good and is good for the human body, but children also like sweet things, so it will be another considerable income. Well, but I don't know if honey from other regions can be used as a substitute. After all, I haven't actually tried it, so I can only use Drill's honey for now. I understand. Both I and the Joy family will pay attention to this kind of thing. But I think those old guys would rather have only Drill's honey. After all, they rely on this to make money. I don't understand these things of yours, Professor Oak. I'm going out to play, you can drink that bottle with Scald, it will be more comfortable. After saying that, Ash ran out, and Professor Oak smiled and said, this kid. Professor Oak is not worried about Ash's safety. If you ask why, it is because Ash has successfully become the most popular person among all Poké Copyright Monday in this area with his cooking. They are lining the streets to welcome him. As for Ash, he didn't go there to play, but to meet an uncle. Dividing line. Uncle Giovanni, here. Here. When Ash found the uncle, Uncle Giovanni smiled and asked, Ash, what's the matter with calling me here? Here, this is the honey water I just made. Beedrill will definitely like it. Looking at the bottle handed over by Ash, Giovanni released Beedrill with a smile, and after seeing Ash, Giovanni's Beedrill rubbed against Ash very closely, and was even more delighted after seeing Ash's honey water. However, it did not grab it, but waited for Ash's action. Ash smiled and poured out half a cup, one for Giovanni and one for Beedrill. Beedrill drank it impatiently, while Giovanni smiled and asked while drinking, it seems that there will be another product soon. Well, but Uncle Giovanni, if you want the enhanced version, you can tell me and I will give it to you. Looking at Ash's expression, Giovanni smiled and said, thank you then. How Ash and Giovanni met is actually very simple. Giovanni is the leader of an organization in Kanto, which is called Team Rocket. However, due to the behavior of a traitor, Giovanni's whereabouts were discovered by other foreign organizations. Although Giovanni dealt with them, Giovanni himself was also seriously injured. At this time, Ash appeared. With the help of the medicinal herbs found by Poké Copyright Monday, Ash successfully helped Giovanni stop the injury, and then took Giovanni to the hospital with the help of Poké Copyright Monday. And Giovanni also remembered this little angel who saved him when he was in the most dangerous time. After Giovanni recovered from his injury, the foreign organization was destroyed with the double efforts of Team Rocket and Poké Copyright Monday Alliance. After everything was over, Giovanni sent someone to search for Ash's information and found out that Ash was from a single-parent family and had actually used his own abilities to connect with the Oak family and the Joy family to reduce the burden on his mother. Therefore, he liked Ash even more. Therefore, he often interacted with Ash in order to thank Ash for saving his life. Gradually, the emotional bond between Giovanni and Ash is no longer just a life-saving grace, but more like a father and son. However, neither of them said it out loud, and it was fine like this. Ash, I heard you are going to summer camp. Well, my mom told me about it first. To be honest, it would be better to do something else with that technique. Ha ha ha, it's not bad to play more with people of the same age. Forget it. We have no common topics. Giovanni understood Ash very well. It was true that geniuses were all lonely, but Giovanni did not want Ash to be like that, so he came up with a solution. Ash, do you want to go to Hollywood? Hey? Hollywood? What's so good about Hollywood? Go relax, trust me, and don't you think this would be a good opportunity to relax your mom too? It might be hard to convince Ash if it was anything else, but when it comes to Delia, Ash immediately got motivated. After all, Ash is a filial child, so thinking that the family's money can indeed make his mother happy, Ash nodded and said, yes. Uncle Giovanni, what you said makes sense. It wouldn't be bad if I let my mother go to Hollywood with me before going to summer camp. Giovanni couldn't help but smile at Ash, then said, in that case, let me take charge of the ship. May I? Don't underestimate your Uncle Giovanni, brat. In this way, the uncle and the little kid chatted while drinking honey water. Chapter 4. Wow. This is Hollywood. Mom, let's go see those movie theaters. Ash was also very excited when he arrived in Hollywood. After all, it was a new place and he could see some different scenery. In this way, Ash happily started his trip to Hollywood with Pico and Delia, but what they didn't know was that a group of Team Rocket members were following them to protect them. Boss, Master Ash and Miss Delia have arrived safely and are now shopping. Very good. Be careful to protect their safety. If there are any thugs looking for trouble, remember to drag them into the alley, beat them up, and then send them to the police station. Yes. Ash didn't know that he was being protected by a group of villains. If he knew, he would be very surprised. For some reason, Ash felt that he seemed to have forgotten a lot of the so-called plot, but he still remembered some small details. It felt like someone had tampered with his memory, but so what? Ash now hoped to look around and buy some souvenirs. After all, it was rare for him to go out with his mother. But soon Ash will encounter the most powerful cheat in his life, a unique Poké Copyright Monday. The next day, when Ash was walking around with Pico and Delia, he saw a Meowth that was being beaten and bruised. Seeing that Meowth was still holding the fish even though it was beaten and bruised, Ash sighed and walked up to the shop owner and said, "Uncle, I'll pay for his fish." The old man looked at Ash and said, "Kid, you don't understand. These wild Meowths only know how to steal food, just like wild animals. There's no need to sympathize with them." "I understand, uncle, but sometimes they also have to survive. This Meowth is still holding food. Here, I'll give you the money for the fish." "Hey, I hope your kindness is right, kid." The uncle said nothing more and walked away. Ash looked at Meowth and shook his head and said, "That's really sad. But Meowth should be able to outrun a human, right?" Ash then held out his hand to Meowth. Dividing line. "I am a Meowth. I can speak human language because I have learned the human language. I want to survive better, so I try to learn from humans. However, I didn't expect that because I learned to walk on 2 feet like humans, I couldn't run fast. I was quickly caught and beaten. Just when I thought I was going to die, I heard a natural and normal voice. 'Uncle, let me pay for this fish.' Then I was let go, but my eyelids became heavier and heavier. I didn't know what would happen, but I wanted to see that person. I really wanted to see the owner of that voice. When Meowth woke up, it found itself lying in a human building, and then a voice came. 'Are you awake?' Meowth would never forget this voice, it was the heavenly voice of normal. Then Meowth saw Ash sitting beside his bed. 'Were you the one who saved me, Meow?' Ash was stunned for a moment, then looked at Meowth and asked, 'Are you talking?' Meowth nodded and said, 'Yeah, Meow.' 'Please wait a moment, I'll take a break.' After Ash calmed down, he looked at Meowth, and finally some memories about the Poké Copyright Monday world came to his mind. A talking Meowth, isn't that the Meowth of Team Rocket? It's like a bug. You know, in Ash's opinion, in addition to his own Pikachu being a bug in the Poké Copyright Monday world, another bug is the Meowth in front of him. You know what the biggest problem between Poké Copyright Monday and trainers is? Communication. And the Meowth in front of him can perfectly solve this problem. If there is any problem, he can understand it as soon as he asks. Moreover, the Meowth in front of him is very good at hands-on work. He can make any machine. It is a waste of talent for him to follow Team Rocket. Looking at Meowth, Ash firmly believed that Meowth must be abducted. He is simply the best cheat. Therefore, Ash looked at Meowth and couldn't help but say, "Meowth, will you be my Poké Copyright Monday?" Happiness came too suddenly. Meowth didn't expect that the savior in front of him suddenly wanted to make him his Poké Copyright Monday. What does this mean? He no longer has to stay on the streets, and he no longer has to risk stealing for food. Thinking of this, Meowth couldn't help but throw herself into Ash's arms and cry. "I do, Meow. I want to be your Poké Copyright Monday, Meow." Holding Meowth, Ash smiled gently, rubbed his back and said, "Well, Meowth, I have conquered you." Chapter 5. Ash's trip to Hollywood was very fruitful. He not only saw many different sights, but also conquered Meowth, the biggest cheat. As for Meowth who can talk, Ash's mother Delia happily welcomed the arrival of this new family member. Later, under the secret protection of Team Rocket, Ash and his family boarded the cruise ship back home. When Ash left, the two Stephanies said goodbye to him on the shore. "Goodbye, Ash. I will be the best actor. Remember to keep in touch. I will definitely call you when I become a famous model." Ash also said goodbye to the two Stephanies who were older than him. "Sister Diantha, stop crying. Sister Jewel, keep eating normally." After saying goodbye, Ash turned to Meowth beside him and said, "I don't know why I always feel like I have some impression of them." "No way, Meow. Boss, you obviously just met them, Meow. One of them is a crybaby, and the other fainted from excessive dieting. If you know them, you should be impressed by these obvious behaviors, right?" Ash couldn't help but nod after hearing Meowth's analysis, and then said, "That's right." How Ash met Jewel and Diantha is actually very simple. Diantha wanted to be an actor, so she took the exam, but the examiner refused her because she was too immature, so she could only cry in the corner. Ash and Meowth looked at Diantha crying like a cat, and they went up to comfort her as good people. Diantha also took this opportunity to talk to Ash, her little brother. After Ash heard the reason why Diantha was not selected, he laughed in his heart. Damn, she looked immature and didn't pass? Is this a lie? Then Ash seriously asked about the requirements to become an actor. As a result, Diantha said a lot of questions that were not immature and mature, so Diantha came to her senses. Although she wanted to succeed by her own efforts, it did not mean that she had to be a naive person. Then Diantha quickly found out with the help of her family. The examiner wanted to get someone he knew in, so Diantha was kicked out by him. However, he did not expect that Diantha, a girl who looked like a naive girl, was actually a tough guy with a background, so the examiner was unlucky. He was anonymously reported and the test was repeated. This time, Diantha passed easily, although the examiner still said she was immature. Zaijure's story was even simpler. She controlled her diet because she wanted to be a model. As a result, she was malnourished and fainted from hunger. Fortunately, Ash's family and Diantha saw it and nothing happened. After Ash was sure that Jewel was malnourished, he went to Joy to get the ingredients to make several nutritional supplement meals. Finally, Jewel was well again. Joy also submitted the nutritional meal plans with Ash's consent. As for the secret recipe of this set meal, Ash did not ask for patent fees this time, but just said that he just wanted to be given an egg of Chansey. The Joy family directly agreed to Ash's conditions. Although Chansey is almost monopolized by the Joy family, Ash is also one of their own in a sense, so this is really not a problem. After knowing that it was Ash and his family who saved her, Jewel wanted to pay for Ash's family's travel expenses to express her gratitude, but was rejected by Ash. After all, Ash's original purpose was just to save people. Later, Ash, with the idea of a euro giving everything he could think of, wrote some nutritious meals for Jewel to prevent her from getting malnourished again. In a word, Ash's knowledge of medicine and nutrition in his previous life was not in vain. After that, Ash's family, Diantha, and Xiaojue and their group played together for a few days before finally parting ways. However, everyone had already exchanged contact information, so they would keep in touch. Watching the cruise ship carrying Ash going farther and farther away, Xiaojue put down her hand. It's amazing. I'm older than Ash, but I always feel like he's taking care of me. Diantha on the side was speechless after hearing this. That's not a feeling, it's just the way it is. You were malnourished before, so Ash had to feed you all the time. After being told this by Diantha, Xiaojue blushed for a moment, then said, that's better than a crybaby like you who needs Ash's comfort before you realize the problem. You. How did you know? That's what Meowth said. Damn it. I'll have to beat up Meowth next time. Just when Diantha decided to beat up Meowth, Meowth, who was eating snacks with Piku on the cruise ship, couldn't help but shudder. What's wrong, Meowth? I don't know, Meow. I have a bad feeling about this, Meow. Ash thought about it after looking at Meowth's expression, and then said, it's possible. After all, Professor Oak will be very surprised to see you. Thinking of the reaction that crazy researcher Professor Oak would have after seeing Meowth, Ash mourned for Meowth. At the same time, he took out some more dried fish and handed them to Meowth, saying, come on, Meowth, eat more. Professor Oak will probably torture you for a long time when you go back. A euro. Chapter 6. Just as Ash thought, Professor Oak showed great enthusiasm for Meowth. After all, this was the first time he saw a Poké Copyright Monday that could learn human language. Professor Oak also thought of using Meowth as a translator to communicate with Poké Copyright Monday, just like Ash did. Therefore, Meowth became Professor Oak's special assistant. Professor Oak even introduced Meowth to other professors, so that they could use Meowth to help translate and solve any problems they had. Of course, Meowth is Ash's Poké Copyright Monday after all, so Meowth still has to go home at a certain time, just like going to work normally. Professor Oak, I'm here to pick up Meowth. Please don't let him work too hard if you can. Whenever Ash's voice sounded, Professor Oak's communications would be filled with wailing because their translator Meowth was about to go off duty. When he saw Ash coming, Meowth waved at the communicator and said, my boss is here to pick me up, Meow. We can talk tomorrow if there's anything, Meow. No. Meowth. Do me one more favor. Just one. Looking at Professor Rowan who was wailing in the communicator, Ash tapped the communicator and said, Professor Rowan, it's time for Meowth to get off work now. Please let him rest. Meowth, I'm going home for dinner. Okay boss Meow. Meowth was relieved that his boss had spoken, and went home with Ash. Meanwhile, Professor Oak's laboratory was filled with grumbling growl. Boss, what are we eating today, Meow? I steamed a fish for you today, and for Piku I made him lasagna, and for the kid Lucky Egg I specially ordered some Multank milk. Meowth's mouth watered when he heard that, but he still asked, well, can I try Multank's milk, Meow? I heard it tastes much better than cow's milk, Meow. Skin. Piku also pulled Ash's clothes, which meant that he wanted some too. Looking at his two greedy Poké Copyright Monday, Ash smiled and wiped their saliva and said, okay, you two greedy Poké Copyright Monday, I bought a lot, so it's okay, but you have to save some for the lucky eggs. That's great, Meow. Skin. Ash's smile widened as he watched Meowth and Piku cheer. After returning home, Delia had already laid out the tableware and Meowth and Piku sat directly in their seats. Ash took the lucky egg that kept waving at him from Delia's arms and sat in his seat. Delia looked at Ash holding the lucky egg and couldn't help but smile and said, that lucky egg kid is really clingy to you, Ash. Well, after all, I was the first person she saw after she was born, so it's normal for her to be close to me. I just need to take good care of this little one now. Come on, lucky egg, this is fresh Multank's milk. When Ash was feeding the lucky egg, he saw that she had habitually put the round stones into her bag, so he touched her head and said, don't put too much, or I won't be able to hold you. Just like that, Ash's family's dinner began. Looking at his mother Delia, Meowth, and Piku chatting happily, and the lucky egg in his arms, which showed that his family was full and began to rest, Ash couldn't help but think. This place is really a happy place. Along with these warm and happy days, Ash joined the summer camp. According to Delia's idea, Ash should be able to have fun with his peers, but who knew that Ash would go directly to play with a group of Poké Copyright Monday that he was already familiar with, and ended up having almost no friends of the same age. But there was still an accident. That was a Stephanie named Lena. She got lost and injured. Finally, with the guidance of Ash's group of Poké Copyright Monday who liked to eat for free, Ash found her. Ash felt helpless looking at Lena who was still crying. However, just when Ash felt helpless, the little lucky egg came forward and began to comfort Lena. Lena was attracted by the cute pink lucky egg and slowly stopped crying. It was at this moment that she realized that she was surrounded by Poké Copyright Monday and Ash was standing in front of her with Meowth and Piku. Are you feeling better? If you're okay, let's go back. Okay, you are Ash, right? My name is Lena. I know, can you leave now? Lena tried to move, but her feet hurt. Ash knew she couldn't walk by herself, so he squatted down and said, come on, I'll carry you back. Even though I have many friends, they are still very wary of strangers. Seeing Ash asking her to climb up, Lena blushed, but still did it. Thanks. It's okay, but you have to be more careful next time. After all, you can't always be so lucky. Afterwards, with a group of Poké Copyright Monday leading the way, Ash and Lena returned, and the summer camp ended successfully, but Lena looked at Ash reluctantly when she left. Ash was often teased by Delia and Professor Oak because of this. In this way, time passed until Ash was 15 years old, and it was finally time for him to set out on his journey. Chapter 7. Well, I'm about to leave for a trip, so you don't have to worry about me, Sister Jewel. But have you been too busy recently and skipped breakfast? I watched the new episode of Kamaiziel's show. Although she's still beautiful, her steps are a little off when she walks. With black hair, handsome face, red eyes, and a black vest that outlines his angular muscles, the 15-year-old Ash was chatting with Xiaojue while putting on his red jacket. Kamaiziel, this is the stage name that Diantha used after her debut. Of course, it doesn't make any difference to Ash. Diantha and Ash have always been in touch, and the three of them often talk about their own things together, but it's just that they live in different regions and it's not easy to get together. Xiaojue lay on her bed, swinging her legs and listening to Boyu's nagging with a smile, then said, Okay, I know I need to take care of myself, but it's just that I'm a bit busy lately, so it's a bit troublesome. Don't I have the medicine you sent me here? That won't work. Taking medicine all the time is not as good as taking care of yourself. Anyway, you should pay more attention to yourself, and don't be too tired. I know. Just start your journey with peace of mind. When you come to Unova region, remember to come and see me. I'm waiting for you. Got it. Just don't hold back when the time comes for the gym battle. I won't hold back. If you lose, I can let you cry in my arms, Ash. I understand. Then it's time for me to leave as well. Bye. After ending the call with Xiaojue, Ash began to do the final checks. After all, he was about to start his journey and he had to pack everything he needed. Well, cash is okay, bank cards are okay, Supreme Black Card is okay, clothes are okay, cooking tools and spare ingredients are okay, and there are also candies to be given. Very good. This backpack is awesome. Patting the Pocket Star Black Technology backpack, Ash nodded in satisfaction, and at this moment there was a knock on the door, and then a Chansey poked her head out. Lucky I 1/4 I see. I'll be right down. Have you brought your things? Lucky. Chansey nodded with a smile. Well then let's go. When Ash walked downstairs, Meowth and Pikachu were waiting for him along with a Miltank and Ralts plus a Growlithe. That's right, Piku evolved into Pikachu, and Ash had long known that his Pikachu was the legendary Pikachu. But who cares? He had almost forgotten the so-called plot. Maybe he could still remember something if he encountered something, but in Ash's opinion, he only needed to remember which Poké Copyright Monday there were. After all, he was not a fool who knew nothing. Speaking of this, I have to introduce Miltank, Growlithe and Ralts. Miltank was purchased by Ash at the ranch so that the lucky egg at that time could drink fresh milk. Now, although the lucky egg has evolved into Chansey, the family's milk is still supplied by Miltank. After all, the grass and food ingredients Ash matched based on nutritional knowledge make Miltank very satisfied. In addition, the special massage techniques developed with Stephanie, who aspires to become a breeder, make the milk produced by Miltank extremely delicious. Of course, Ash's Miltank is not responsible for fighting, but for preparing fresh milk for everyone every day. The only thing she needs to do is to eat, move around, and then rest. Ash's Ralt's origin is more interesting. She is Diantha's Gardevoire's child. As for why Diantha gave it to Ash, it was because Ash asked Joy to sell those medicines to Diantha's family at a discount. Not only Diantha, but also Jewel's family and Professor Oak's family also had discounts, and even the breeder Stephanie mentioned earlier also had discounts. After all, Ash can still help with such small things, and for the Joy family, these so-called discounts are just a drop in the bucket compared to the profits. But I heard from Diantha's sister that she has become a champion now, which is really amazing. The last Growlithe was given to Ash by the Juncha family. The reason was very simple. Ash used the money he earned from the patents over the years to let the Joy family and Professor Oak help him open Chinese restaurants in many regions. These restaurants have a rule that police officers can come here at any time to eat hot meals for free, and the chefs must be ready to serve the police officers at any time and are not allowed to cheat. Ash's rule directly won the favor of the Juncha family. After all, if they run the business this way, even if they make a lot of money, they will also spend a lot. But for Ash now, money is just a string of numbers. The last thing Ash lacks now is money. It can be said that if Ash becomes a stud and has a bunch of children, his money will be enough for these children to spend lavishly for a lifetime. This is the horror of monopoly. In addition, because of Meowth, Ash has a good relationship with the professors in each region. So when Ash starts traveling now, it is like turning on a cheat, with unlimited money in Meowth, a human translator. Of course, Ash has an even more powerful cheat, which is the most disgusting and saddest cheat made by Ash himself. Come in first, Growlithe, Miltank. After taking Growlithe and Miltank back to the luxury ball, Ash held Ralt's hand with Meowth and Chansey on either side, Pikachu and Delia on his shoulders and said, Well, Mom, I'm going to go get the Poké copyright decks from Professor Oak. Well, go and come back soon, your friends are still waiting for you. Delia said as she pointed to the Poké copyright Monday outside Ash's house. Ash looked at the guys and smiled, then said, I'll be back soon. We can say goodbye then. Chapter 8. In Professor Oak's laboratory, Ash, Meowth, Pikachu, Chansey, and Ralts all came. Seeing Ash's display, Gary couldn't help but say, Hey Ash, are you showing off? You are definitely showing off. Looking at Gary, Ash flicked his hat speechlessly and said, What do you mean by showing off? Pikachu and the others don't like to stay in Poké copyright balls, so I won't put them in. What about the Ralts? Ralts is a very clingy kid, so I won't let her get into the ball for now. Ash said, pointing to the hand that was being held by Ralts. How on earth do you have such great affinity? I'm not some guy who just wants to have a girlfriend. What did you say? Looking at Gary Flail's expression, Ash struck next. Besides, I'm not like you who needs money from your family. I have my own money. Don't tell me you are planning to travel in a sports car. Ash was speechless when he thought of the sports car he saw outside the door, while Gary looked at Ash unhappily and said, don't tell me you are not prepared. I did prepare it, but I asked Meowth to keep it for me to use when I run into trouble. I'm not like you. That's right, Meow. We want to enjoy the scenery while traveling, Meow. You little brat won't understand. Meowth was not lenient with Gary, so he spoke without mercy. Damn it. Just wait, I'll let you know how powerful I am during the quartz competition. Gary knew he couldn't win the argument with Ash, so he could only threaten him. However, Ash's next words left him silent. Oh? So you think you can beat Meowth? You wanna fight, little brat, Meow. Meowth said, showing his sharp claws. Still can beat my Pikachu. Hill. Sparks began to appear on Pikachu's little round face. Or do you think you can beat my Chansey? Lucky I won fourth. Chansey smiled and raised his palm. Gary's face turned green. Ash's 3 Poké Copyright Monday were simply his shadows. He also knew that the true strength of Ash's 3 Poké Copyright Monday was terrifying, especially Chansey, who was the most disgusting one under Ash. He heard from his grandfather that Ash's Chansey didn't know how to feed her, and her defense and stamina were simply unlimited. Moreover, Ash was so cruel that he made Chansey learn Toxic. What's more terrifying is that Chansey's slap power is so strong. This is simply a terrifying Mega Meat Mountain. But even so, Chansey is not the most terrifying. I heard from my grandfather that Ash's Pikachu is the most terrifying. The strength of Ash's Pikachu has always been a mystery over the years. Anyway, Gary will not risk his life to fight Ash now, at least not before he understands the fighting power of Ash's Poké Copyright Monday. I will prove my ability, you better choose the Poké Copyright Monday you want. Gary didn't want to talk about this topic anymore, so he could only urge Ash to choose a Poké Copyright Monday quickly. Okay, let me see then, hey? Squirtle has been chosen. Yes, I chose Squirtle. Gary held up his Poké Copyright ball and asked, do you want Squirtle? That's not the case. I just wanted to take a look. Since you've already chosen, I'll take a look at Charmander and Bulbasaur. Finally, after a selection, Ash chose Charmander. It was not because Bulbasaur was not good, but Ash remembered something, that is, Professor Oak said that there was a child who was out of town and could not come, and the child's name was Damien. If Ash's memory was correct, this Charmander would be abandoned even if he was adopted, so Ash chose this Charmander who had a close relationship with him. Looking at Charmander, Ash patted its head and said, then I will be your trainer from now on, Charmander. Yes. Charmander happily cuddled up with Ash, who also petted the little guy's head. Very well behaved. Afterwards, Bulbasaur was also received by Stephanie, who seemed to really like Bulbasaur. After receiving the Poké Copyright decks, the three of them finally started their journey. Little Stephanie left first, and Gary said goodbye to Ash and drove away with his girlfriends. Ash has now returned home with Charmander, and waiting for him are not only Ash's mother Delia, but also a group of Poké Copyright Monday, who are here to see Ash off. Make sure you take care of yourself, Ash. Don't worry. I can take good care of myself. Finally, with the Poké Copyright Monday and Delia watching him go, Ash embarked on his journey. Chapter 9. When Ash set out on his journey, he released his Poké Copyright Monday for a simple reason, to let them walk with him. Growlithe was lively and played with Charmander, Miltank was milking, Chansey was preparing eggs for everyone, Meowth was playing the drum, Ralts was holding Ash's hand, and Pikachu was standing on Ash's shoulder and making a ketchup. Some people may ask why the limit of 6 Poké Copyright Monday is exceeded. Of course, it is because of Professor Oak's help. Meowth, Pikachu, and Chansey almost never score goals, plus a Miltank who follows Ash just for milk production. So Ash actually has 3 Poké Copyright Monday on his body. Growlithe Charmander, you two should stop messing with eruption seedlings. Woof. Yes. Seeing that the two little guys were quite obedient, Boyu did not stop them, but said to Pikachu beside him, Pikachu, we will eat soon, why are you still eating ketchup? Pikapi. I know you can eat, but aren't you afraid of getting fat? Skin. Ash patted him in amusement as Pikachu made a bulk up pose towards him. Okay, I get it. How long will it take us to get out there, Meowth? As long as the weather isn't a problem, we can get out today, Meow. But if it's a little cloudy, we should be there soon, Meow. Okay, then let's walk a little further, everyone follow. We have to move faster. Although Ash and his friends wanted to leave quickly, the weather suddenly changed and it started to rain heavily, so Ash and his Poké Copyright Monday stayed in the tent together. Look Meowth, I told you it's a good idea to bring an oversized tent. Indeed, Meow. Everyone can come in, Meow. But this rain will last for a while, Meow. Then wait a little while, let's start cooking. Okay. And just as Ash started to cook, a figure ran towards Ash's tent. Wow. Why am I so unlucky? Hey. Excuse me, can you please let me hide from the rain for a while? Why aren't you wearing any clothes? With a scream, Ash, who was shirtless, turned around and looked at the person who came. That's so rude, but I can do whatever I want in my own tent, right? Stephanie then realized that she was the intruder and quickly apologized, sorry, I got scared. My name is Misty. Can I take shelter from the rain here? Looking at Misty who was almost soaked by the rain, Ash took out a blanket and threw it to her and said, change your clothes first, or you will catch a cold. I will put up a curtain in the middle. Taking the blanket from Ash, Misty quickly wrapped herself up and said, thank you, who are you? Me? I'm Ash, but introductions can come later. Hurry and change your wet clothes. Oh, thank you. Afterwards, after Ash put up a curtain as a cover, Misty quickly changed her wet clothes into new ones and wrapped herself in a blanket. After doing all this, Ash and Misty really introduced themselves to each other, but what surprised Misty was that Ash actually had Chansey and the talking Meowth. It's time to eat. Pikachu's omelette rice, make your own ketchup, Meowth your fish, Growlithe and Charmander your chicken breasts, Ralt's mixed berries, Moltank's fodder, Chansey's cake. Misty, you don't mind having fried rice with me, right? When asked by Ash, Misty, who was looking confused, reacted and said, no. No way. Thank you. Misty is now becoming more and more curious about Ash, because Ash just showed her what real fast cooking is, and the speed is simply terrifying. Here, this is the milk that Moltank just squeezed out today. It tastes great. After handing a cup of Moltank's milk to Misty, Ash found that Charmander had his mouth full of milk, so he helplessly took out a tissue to wipe his mouth. Don't move. Yes. Misty smiled as she watched Ash carefully wipe Charmander's mouth. Ash is really gentle. Misty then released her Poké Copyright Monday and started feeding them. When everyone had eaten, Ash first checked in with his mother Delia to let her know he was safe, and then he received a message from Jewel. Hey, Ash, have you arrived in Viridian City? Until some weather conditions, not yet. Really? Then be careful not to get sick. Also, even though you are an adult, you can't go to that kind of place. How could Ash not understand what Xiaojue said? He said with a frown, I'm not that boring. That's not necessarily true. At your age, some families are already married and even have children. I'm just reminding you not to be blinded by the glamorous world outside. Ash almost vomited blood. Although it was indeed the case on the Pocket Planet, after all, 15 years old was considered an adult based on the physical condition here, but Ash would not be so shameless. Come on, do you think I'm that kind of person? Of course I know you are not, but I'm afraid that someone will be fascinated by the older sister outside. Be careful that Daisy and Joy Juncha will come after you. Or is there a girl by your side now? Although Xiaojue was smiling when she said this, the dark aura emanating from her body had already scared the agent next to her. Sister, this is a bit scary. Looking at Misty beside him, Ash suspected that Xiaojue had installed a surveillance camera on him, so he asked without thinking. Meowth, there are no surveillance cameras around us, right? Meowth gave Ash a strange look before shaking his head and saying, no, Meow. However, Xiaojue's voice came from the other end of the communication. Oh, I got it right. I know you're attractive, Ash, but isn't it too fast? Sister, stop joking. I think it's more like a matter of time. Allah? Then why don't I have any feelings? Listening to Xiaojue's voice, which was obviously becoming more and more dangerous, Ash wondered why that thing had not been delivered yet. Miss Xiaojue, your express delivery. Ash heaved a sigh of relief when he heard the delivery. It turned out that it was delivered just now. But after thinking about it, it made sense since it was across regions. Then, a sharp voice from Jewel came over the communication. Chapter 10. Ash. What is this? Ash's ears hurt from the screams of Jewel, but thinking about what he was going to say next, he still walked out of the tent, and Meowth considerately held an umbrella for Ash with a machine. Thank you Meowth, what did you say, Sister Jewel? What does this Unova Region Continental Hotel share certificate mean? Do you know how much a 1% share is worth? You actually gave me 5%. The female agent next to Xiaojue's eyelids twitched when she heard this. The Continental Hotel was a popular hotel in all regions, and it had even more hotels under its umbrella. The most important thing was that big families were involved in the shares of the Continental Hotel. It was said that the Oak family, which had connections with the mythical beasts in the Kanto region, had shares, and the Poké Copyright Monday Alliance also had shares. There were also 2 mysterious batches of shares, and no one knew who held them. Now it seemed that it must be the Ash that his young lady had called. That's right, Xiaojue is also a member of the family, and the Lei Wen family in Lei Wen City. Xiaojue's agent was actually sent by the Lei Wen family specifically to take care of Xiaojue. Ash, tell me what you mean. If you are crazy, I will get a doctor for you, and the electrotherapy here is very good. Xiaojue really didn't dare to joke now. Although this wealth was indeed tempting, Xiaojue was more worried about whether Ash had a mental problem. Ash looked at the rainy forest and said, it's okay, I'm normal. But sister, we've known each other for so long, you should know that I'm not a good person, so I'm going to start forcing you. Hey, what do you mean? Xiaojue was a little confused by Ash's words, but the agent beside her seemed to have guessed something, so he secretly contacted the Lei Wen family. There's a small box in the package, right? It's the one that looks so simple and inconspicuous. After hearing what Ash said, Xiaojue actually discovered an inconspicuous little box. I see. Is this the new toy Meowth made? Meowth will cry if you say that. Never mind. Just open it and you'll understand. Mysterious, huh? Xiaojue was still wondering at first, but when he saw what was in the small box, he was speechless. It was a diamond ring. Yuayuro, I said I was the type that fell in love over time, right? So can I bring it with me? Xiaojue looked at the diamond ring and suddenly smiled, then tears came to her eyes as she smiled. It turns out you knew it all along, it turns out you have been playing dumb all along. Hearing what Xiaojue said, Ash explained helplessly, I have no choice. Before, I was not an adult, so it was difficult for me to say anything or make a promise. Now that I am an adult, of course I have to take action. After all, I am very afraid that Xiaojue will be kidnapped by others. When Xiaojue heard this, she rubbed her red eyes and said, slippery tongue, let me ask you if Diantha has one too. That's right. Won't you lie to me? I don't want to. If you lie to people about this kind of thing again, you'd be a real scumbag. After putting the diamond ring on her hand, Xiaojue relaxed and said, where is Daisy? There are also the Juncha family and the Joy family. I've already sent it to Sister Daisy's place. I've also talked to Joy and Juncha. Let's talk about it after they've chosen someone. Looking at the diamond ring on her left middle finger, Xiaojue couldn't help but ask, where did you get such a big diamond? Don't mention it. In order to get Steven's help, I specially observed his Poké Copyright Monday for nearly a year before I came up with a set meal suitable for his Poké Copyright Monday. Can you imagine how hard it was for Meowth and I to communicate with those rock and ore bug guys? I even went to ask those scientists to identify substances that are beneficial to them. I was wondering why there was always knocking noises at your place that year. So, Sister Jewel, you have to take it with you. I specially customized it for you. Of course, if you lose it, I can just order another one. I won't lose it. I don't know whether you are smart or stupid. I will tell my family. After looking at her agent who was holding the communicator to her, Xiaojue said, okay, they already know. I will announce the news once it is confirmed. At this point, Xiaojue was still a little nervous. After all, she was not sure whether it would affect Ash if it was announced. And Ash's answer reassured her. Sure, it's not something that needs to be hidden. I know, it's all your fault. I can't sleep at all now. I apologize. Go to bed early. Good night. Good night. Seeing Ash end the call, Meowth couldn't help but ask, Boss, is this a proposal? Yeah, what else can I do? I still want to learn how to confess, meow. Then I'll go find my Madonna, meow. Why don't you just bring a piece of my delicious grilled fish? Boss, your method is so rough, meow. I'm not a Poké copyright Monday, how do I know how you propose? Pikapi. Just then Pikachu came out with 3 cups of hot milk. Ash took one and said, thanks. Let's take a look together. To be honest, I really like this kind of scenery. It's beautiful. Then, Ash Meowth, Pikachu and the other 3 men drank hot milk while watching the scenery in the rain, and they felt unexpectedly satisfied. Chapter 11. When Ash returned to the tent, Misty had already put away the dishes. Oh? You've packed it already? Thank you. This is what I should do. By the way, are you done with your business? Well, the proposal was successful. Really? Don't joke like that. Misty didn't really believe Ash's proposal, after all, she and Ash were not familiar with each other and didn't know Ash's background. After that, Ash and Misty started to rest after packing up. Since Charmander's tail was always on fire, Ash could only put him in the luxury ball first. Ralts needed Ash to hold him to sleep because of his clingy nature. Other Poké copyright Monday found a good position to rest. Meowth even prepared a small sleeping bag, and Pikachu slept beside Ash. Misty was a Stephanie after all, and it was inevitable that she would have trouble sleeping with a handsome guy like Ash. But soon, after looking at Ash sleeping with Ralts and Pikachu in his arms, she smiled and fell into a deep sleep. The next day, when Misty woke up, Ash had already started training his Poké copyright Monday. Meowth was constantly sharpening his claws, Chansey was practicing her arm strength by throwing rocks, and Ash was watching the eggs in her pocket. Lorelei and Charmander were dodging the rocks while spraying flames, and their flames were aimed at Pikachu. Ralts was practicing confusion. Oh? Are you awake? Wait a moment and I'll prepare breakfast. Okay. Misty saw that Ash had prepared breakfast and started to help set the table. After finishing the training, Ash and Misty had breakfast and set off again. Ash looked at the rainbow after the rain and soaring in the sky and saw a colorful Poké copyright Monday flying by, and then his face changed. Oh my gosh. Meowth. Everybody. Come on. Take a picture with that guy. Quick. Misty, you too. Come on, take a picture. Then, while Misty was still confused, Ash released all the Poké copyright Monday, and then took Misty with him to let Meowth remotely control the machine to start taking photos. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Meowth, start taking photos. Make sure you get a clear picture. Understood Meow. Ash, Misty and a group of Poké copyright Monday then took many photos with the Poké copyright Monday that was flying towards the rainbow. Misty saw that the Poké copyright Monday was about to fly away and asked, what kind of Poké copyright Monday is that, Ash? Ho-Oh, the mythical beast from Chengdu region. Some people may never see it in their lifetime. Quickly strike a pose. Misty was also surprised when she heard it was Ho-Oh. Seeing that it was indeed similar to the legend, she said anxiously, Ho-Oh. It's over. I'm not wearing any makeup. No time for makeup. Hurry up and take the picture, or it will fly away. I know. Finally, under Meowth's remote control, Ash Misty took a group photo with all of their Poké copyright Monday. Looking at the photos, Ash said with satisfaction, great. It couldn't be better to be able to see the divine beasts when you go out. I wonder if Professor Oak will be envious. This is a photo with a divine beast. Meow, I'm very photogenic, meow. Pikapi. Lucky I won fourth. Misty looked at Ash and couldn't help but ask, I thought Ash you were going to say that you would surpass Ho-Oh with your own Poké copyright Monday. After hearing what Misty said, Ash was a little speechless and said, so childish. Forget it, let's just leave it like this. I'm not a hot-blooded fool. Instead of saying that, it's better for us to take a group photo together. These are the truly precious things, these beautiful memories. Ash passed Misty's copy of the photo to her and said, keep it well. I plan to print these out. My trip is off to a perfect start. Looking at Ash like this, Misty suddenly had an idea. Maybe it would be a good journey to follow Ash? So she asked Ash, Ash, can I travel with you? Ash looked at Misty and couldn't help but smile at her nervous look and said, of course it's no problem. Chapter 12. Growlithe, Charmander uses flamethrower to resolve the battle. Following Ash's orders, Charmander and Growlithe used flamethrower to kill the 2 lower Raticates, while Ash watched Chansey feed the 2 unconscious Rattata with orange fruit before leaving. Misty looked at the 2 Rattatas that were fainted by the fire and couldn't help but say, how miserable. It's a sign of respect for them, and Chansey has already fed them oranges. Misty looked at Chansey and couldn't help but say, actually, I've always wanted to ask, Ash, are you connected to the Joy family? Chansey is there, and it seems like she's learned medical knowledge. Ash did not hide anything from Misty's question and said directly, it is indeed related. My Chansey did go to the nurse school, but she likes fighting more. Lucky I won fourth. As Chansey hugged Ash, Ash said with a smile, alright, and I know you like me very much, and I like you too. Lucky I won fourth. Seeing Chansey hugging Ash like this, Meowth said unhappily, tisk, as if the rest of us don't like the boss, meow. Bang. Chansey slapped Meowth on the head, leaving a big bump. Meowth said unhappily, meow. You are a taunt, meow. Don't think I won't hit you just because you were raised by the boss, meow. You should call me daddy, meow. Lucky. Chansey pointed at Miltank. What meow? You said Miltank is your nanny, meow. Misty found it very interesting to watch Meowth and Chansey quarreling. By the way, Ash, I need to contact my family first. Can we contact each other when we are about to leave? Okay, then we'll use the communicator to arrange a meeting place. After the two confirmed it, they continued on their way and later came to Tokiwa City. However, just after they arrived, a Kunsha came over on a motorcycle. ID please, Ash. Hey, Junsha sister. Seeing Ash, Junsha's momentum softened. Ash, have you started your journey yet? Yeah, I'm an adult after all. And this is my Poké copyright dex. Ash handed the Poké copyright dex that could prove his identity to Junsha, and Junsha checked it carefully. Although Ash was related to the Junsha family, it did not mean that Ash would use this to ask for any privileges. Ash would not be vague about correcting the matters handled. After checking and confirming, Junsha returned the Poké copyright dex to Ash and also verified Misty's identity. Misty left after verifying her identity as she still needed to contact her family, while Ash was stopped by Junsha. Watching Misty leave, Junsha grabbed Ash's mouth and said, hurry up and tell me. Did you forget something? Ash's Poké copyright Monday didn't care at all as they watched Kunsa treat Ash like that. Pikachu and Meowth played the clapping game, Ralts watched in a panic, and Chansey was rubbing her balls with a smile on her face. Wait, sis, what could I have forgotten? It hurts, it hurts. What could you have forgotten? I heard from Professor Oak that you had already given the ring to Daisy. Sister, isn't Sister Daisy my fiancée copyright-e? Is it normal for me to do this? Humph, little rascal, let me ask you, what about our Junsha family? Don't tell me you are not prepared. Seeing that Junsha finally stopped ravaging his face, Ash relaxed and explained, but Sister Lan, you see, your Junsha family hasn't prepared my so-called marriage partner yet, so it's impossible for me to just give a ring away, right? That's true. Forget it. Let me ask you, was it you who proposed the peace treaty at the Continental Hotel? Peace treaty, this is a rule of the Continental Hotel. All informal fighting is prohibited in the Continental Hotel. Once the police and even the elites are found eating and drinking for free, they will be obliged to beat up the troublemakers. Of course, there are also some Poké copyright Monday hunting gangs who choose to help the Continental Hotel solve the troublemakers to make extra money. Ash said, I have money. I suggested it. What do you think? Isn't it much more convenient for you during this period? It's a lot more convenient, but do you know it feels weird to work with people you've captured before? June Shaylin couldn't help but think like that. After all, when people from many organizations were captured, their organizations would always try to redeem them, so there would always be times when embarrassing situations would occur. Ash certainly understood this, so he could only say helplessly, then I have no choice. After all, those organizations have contributed a lot of money to the mainland hotel meetings. Otherwise, sister, why do you think the Joy family and your Junsha family can get so many dividends without any shares? I know, I just feel very unhappy. June Shaylin certainly understood the two sides of this world. As a police officer, she saw it more clearly. She was just complaining now. Sister, do you have any questions? No more. Then I'll leave first. Seeing Ash about to leave, Junsha grabbed Ash and said, wait, I'm the one who wasted all your time. I'll take you wherever you want to go. Ash didn't hesitate to take Meowth and the others to sit behind Junsha. The only one who had to be patient was Chansey, as she was a bit big. Oh, thank you very much. I'll go to the baby center first. Being hugged from behind by Ash, June Shaylin blushed for a moment, but then started the motorcycle. Chapter 13. Remember to call me if you need anything, Ash. I'm going to continue my patrol now. There have been a lot of Poké copyright Monday thefts lately, so be careful. Ash smiled as he watched June Shaylin leave on a motorcycle, and then he entered the baby center. Joy smiled and said after seeing Ash, Ash, are you traveling too? Well, I'm old enough after all, so check up on my Poké copyright Monday and prepare a set meal. Okay. Meowth and Pikachu both obediently went to let Joy check their bodies, but Ralts was the only one who was unwilling to leave Ash. Ash could only smile at Joy helplessly and said, this child is a bit clingy. I will bring her along for the checkup later. Seeing Ash's Ralts clinging to him so much, Joy smiled knowingly. No problem, it's actually really nice to see this kid clinging to you so much. Afterwards, Ash held Ralts and communicated with Delia to report that he was safe. Just when Ash was about to video chat with Professor Oak, a news report was interrupted on the TV in the Poké Copyright Monday Center. It is said that Miss Comisley, the gym leader of Thunder Lane City in the Unova region and a famous model, seems to be engaged, and she has a diamond ring on her left ring finger. Then Xiaoju appeared on TV. Miss Comisley, is it true that you are engaged? Who is the man? Will you continue to pursue modeling? On TV, Xiaoju calmly answered each question. To be exact, I have already agreed to the proposal. The specific details of the engagement still need to be discussed with my parents. As for the man, I'm sorry I won't reveal it because it will cause him inconvenience. As for the modeling, I will discuss it with my husband depending on the situation. But my job is the gym leader, right? Not long after the news was broadcast, Delia contacted Ash herself, but Delia's smile was a little scary. Ash, can you talk to Mom? Under the pressure of his mother, Ash found a secluded place and admitted that he did it, and also the matter of Diantha. Delia was angry and amused after knowing it. Finally, she could only say, really, suddenly telling me that there will be more daughters-in-law in the future, I am not prepared. Forget it, Ash, I know you are a smart child, you can take care of yourself, but don't bully others, okay? When the time comes, our parents will meet. Got it after all, she is her biological mother, so Delia will definitely not blame Ash too much, and Ash is now like a good boy. After ending the call with Delia, Ash started a video call with Professor Oak. When Professor Oak saw Ash, he took a sip of ramen and said, Ash, I saw the news. That person must be you, right? Daisy said she was going to beat you up. Ash was helpless seeing Professor Oak, this old man, being like this. After all, Professor Oak was very kind to him and treated him like another grandson. Ash could only let Professor Oak tease him. However, looking at Professor Oak, Ash remembered something, so he sent the photo of himself in Ho-Oh that he had taken with the Poké copyright mons to Professor Oak. Professor Oak, I'm pretty lucky here. I encountered good things right after I set out. Look at the photo we took with it. Professor Oak clicked on the photo that Ash had traveled through and said while drinking tea, let me see. Oh, they are all quite energetic. The Stephanie next to you is a new friend, right? She's pretty good. Wait. The one behind is Ash. With Professor Oak's roar, everyone in the Poké Copyright Monday Center looked over. Ash apologized sheepishly and said to Professor Oak, please don't be so startled, okay? I was shocked. Do you know how important this is? Are your photos real? Ah. It must be true. Otherwise, why do you think we would all take a photo? This is a rare opportunity. Ash, you are my lucky star. These photos are amazing. By the way, what did you use to take them? It's a machine made by Meowth. Meowth is great. Professor Oak's eyes lit up when he heard that it was a machine made by Meowth, and then he said, does that mean you have? Yes, there is a magnified version, and it is very clear. How about Professor Oak? Ash is now captivating Professor Oak like a devil, and Professor Oak is also caught in the trap. After all, that is Ho-Oh, the legendary Poké Copyright Monday. It has never appeared since the bell tower was burnt down. Yes. Of course. Well, I have a small favor to ask Professor Oak, is that okay? No problem, no problem. Just send me the enlarged version of the picture and everything will be fine. Seeing Professor Oak like this, Ash could understand Professor Oak's thoughts, so he stopped teasing him and stated his so-called needs. Professor Oak, help me prepare a good gold coin for Meowth. After all, he is the hero of this matter. And help me comfort Sister Daisy. This is life-saving. Professor Oak was stunned for a moment when he heard Ash's request and then asked, that's all? That's all. Yes. That's all. You better think about it carefully. This photo of yours is very useful. Even if you want a quasi-god artifact, it won't be a problem. Looking at Professor Oak, Ash smiled and shook his head and said, no need. Compared to those so-called quasi-god Poké Copyright Monday, Sister Daisy is more important. Besides, partners will definitely meet when fate has come. So I'll leave this matter to you, Professor Oak. I've sent you the photo. Ash ended the call after saying that. Professor Oak clicked on the photo Ash gave him. Looking at the crystal clear photo of Ho-Oh, Professor Oak smiled and said to Daisy beside him, with just this photo, ordinary people can live a life of ease with the Alliance rewards. After all, this is the first crystal clear photo of a legendary Poké Copyright Monday. How do you feel now? Daisy looked at the clear picture of Ho-Oh. As a student with Professor Oak, she knew how valuable the picture was. Thinking of Ash's so-called needs, the corners of her mouth curled up slightly, but she still turned around and said, that playboy must be beaten up. Professor Oak watched Daisy leave and couldn't help but smile, it's great to be young. Chapter 14. After Ash finished talking to Professor Oak, he took Ralts to have a physical examination. The final result was good and everyone was healthy. Very good, everyone is healthy. Of course, but over there. Who are you? Ash said and pointed in a direction, and two voices came from that direction. No way. Are you talking about us? Were we discovered? You two idiots Meow. We've been discovered Meow. Go coughing with smoke. Then the smoke began to spread, and Ash looked at his Meowth in confusion and asked, hey Meowth, you don't have a brother who can talk, do you? Meowth was also confused, he also heard it. No, Meow, I learned it myself, Meow. Forget it, just use a hairdryer. Okay Meow. Meowth took out a prop and pressed it, which turned into a big hairdryer to blow away the smoke, and the three voices inside began to cough. Ahem. Stupid, we got hit first. I didn't expect that. You two idiots, Meow. Listening to the three idiots talking in the smoke, Ash was too tired to complain and could only ask, who are you? Ash's words were like turning on a switch, and then. Since you asked sincerely. We will be merciful and tell you. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain Jesse. James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us. That's it Meow. Looking at these three guys, especially Meowth, Ash was completely confused. What the hell is that talking Meowth? Does he have two Meowths? Thinking of this, Ash couldn't help but ask Meowth, excuse me, Meowth, are you from Hollywood? When asked by Ash, Meowth was stunned for a moment, then said, no, Meow. I'm from somewhere else. Then how do you speak? I learned it from books, Meow. What's wrong? No, Meow. Why should I answer you, Meow? Now I have to complete the mission to impress the boss and get back to his side, Meow. After listening to Meowth's words, Ash understood that it must be a coincidence, but in this case. Very good, I have asked all the questions I wanted to ask, so you are of no use now. Adjusting his hat, Ash's aura began to become terrifying. Hey Jesse, I feel like there's something wrong with this little brat. James noticed that the atmosphere was a little off. Jesse nodded in agreement and said, I thought so too. Forget it, let's strike first. Come on, Abe Snake. Charmander covered his face with flames and tickled him. As Ash threw the Poké copyright ball, Charmander came out. Upon hearing Ash's order, Charmander spit up with a flame to scare the snake, then stretched out her claws and knocked the snake away. My aber snake. Jessie couldn't believe it when she saw her aber snake was killed with one strike. James said quickly, gas egg, use poison mist. Gas. As coughing began to spit up the poisonous mist, Charmander's vision was blocked. Charmander, get down. Hearing Ash's words, Charmander climbed down obediently, and this time she avoided coughing's tackle. What? Clear him. Charmander Lear coughing was obviously frightened, but that was not the end. Use the tail to fly him. Yes. Charmander's tail hit coughing, and coughing fell to the ground. And seeing Abraham Snake and coughing being dealt with, Meowth knew that something bad was going to happen. Meowth, I think it's better for us to leave Meow. Jessie, good idea Meowth. James, Meowth you are so smart. Seeing the three trying to run away, Ash asked Meowth to blow away the poisonous fog and looked at them with red eyes. Don't leave in such a hurry. I haven't treated you well yet. It's terrible. *3 as a thank you for letting Charmander practice as rival, I'm sending you off now. Pikachu's Super Zap Cannon. What? *3 Pikachu. Pikachu took out a coin and threw it at soaring in the sky. Then he raised his little hand and pointed at the three members of Team Rocket, and then bounced back. Boom. With a beam of sparks rising into the sky, the three members of Team Rocket flew magically. What a disgusting feeling. *3 Yeah, I feel refreshed all of a sudden. Ash felt inexplicably refreshed watching the three people fly away, while Meowth looked at the direction where Team Rocket flew away and said, it turns out that Meowth can also talk. It's amazing, Meow. The world is full of wonders. I'll transfer the repair fee to Sister Joy. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Joy looked at Ash as he left and wished him well, be careful on your way. After leaving the Poké Copyright Monday Center, Ash came to the gym in Viridian City, the Viridian Gym. Chapter 15. When Ash stepped into the Tokiwa Gym, Giovanni was waiting for him. You're here Ash. Well, here I come. You shouldn't have come. But I came anyway. You can't defeat me with your current strength, go back. I use Chansey. A euro Giovanni's face turned green. If he had to say which Poké Copyright Monday in Ash's hand he least wanted to fight, there was only one, and that was Chansey. Ash's Chansey was simply a Mega Meat Shield, and it was really hard for his Poké Copyright Monday to fight it. Although his Poké Copyright Monday were mostly rock and ground type, so they were not afraid of poison type skills, Ash's Chansey learned Toxic. This was so disgusting. I don't know how such a cute child could come up with such a torturous trick. Ash, if you dare to use Chansey, I will sever our relationship as father and son. Giovanni really doesn't want to fight Chansey anymore, it's too disgusting. As for the fake father-son relationship Giovanni mentioned, after all, Ash has been very close to Giovanni over the years, plus Giovanni and Ash always help each other, the result is that the two of them have a fake father-son relationship. Of course, only the top management of the Rockets knows Ash's identity, and Ash still hasn't remembered that Giovanni is the boss of the Rockets. As for Ash sending a bunch of Poké Copyright Monday thieves to jail, Giovanni said that his godson could easily arrest those small fry, and anyway, the Continental Hotel business run by his godson was already an important liquid asset for Team Rocket. That's right, the Rockets also own a share of the Continental Hotel, but it's in the name of the Giovanni family. You don't let me use Chansey, so forget it. You are really up to no good, little brat. Giovanni looked at Ash and was a little speechless. He was planning to use Chansey to teach others a lesson right after he set out on his journey. He is worthy of being my godson. I like him. Forget it, Dad, this is Meowth's latest high magnification camera, take a look. Ash said as he asked Meowth to take out the camera that was used to film Ho-Oh. Oh? High magnification, how high can it be? Giovanni became interested as soon as he heard it. I have some photos here for you to see. Ash took out the photos he had developed earlier and handed them to Giovanni. At first, Giovanni thought the photo was pretty good and lively, but when he noticed Ho-Oh, his eyes almost popped out. The high-definition enlarged version of Ho-Oh made him breathe faster. This? What is this? Oh, I saw it when I came out, so I took the photo right away. It's a good start. Giovanni looked at Ash's I'm so lucky smile and didn't know what to say. Ash, do you know what Poké Copyright Monday this is? I know, Ho-Oh, that's why I asked Meowth to take a high-definition enlarged version. Wait a minute. This clarity. It was only then that Giovanni realized that the clarity and magnification of the photos Ash gave him were tailor-made for photographing other organizations. Very nice, Meowth, do you have the blueprint for this? Yes, Meow, here you go. Meowth took out the blueprint and handed it to Giovanni, who nodded with satisfaction and said, very good, I will let the company launch a new product soon, but it would be better to launch a castrated version. At this point Giovanni looked at Ash, after all, Meowth was Ash's Poké Copyright Monday sure, I don't understand these things anyway, so you can handle it, Dad. It would be great if you could learn some corporate management, that would help me, Managi, put the blueprints away. Yes. A girl with purple hair and glasses took the blueprint, bowed to Ash and left. Ash couldn't help but say as he watched Manito leave, Manito is really serious. Yeah, but I feel relieved to let her do it this way. By the way, I was watching TV, and you're really quick. Giovanni smiled a smile that all men understand, while Ash lowered his hat and said, after all, I'm an adult, so of course I have to act quickly. Not responding to others is the worst. Yes, that's very well said. By the way, since you are going to start your journey, I don't have anything good to give you. This Weedle has been growing up with you, so I will give it to you from now on. Seeing the Poké Copyright ball handed over by Giovanni, Ash didn't act pretentiously. After all, he and Giovanni's Weedle were raised together for a while, so they were already familiar with each other. I will train it well. I'm leaving now. Take care of yourself, Dad. Watching Ash about to leave, Giovanni thought of the photo in his hand. You forgot the photo of Ash. This is for you. Giovanni looked at the photo in his hand, which showed Ash in his Poké Copyright Monday posing under the Ho-Oh, and couldn't help but smile from the bottom of his heart. Taking a photo with a mythical beast is truly a first. Chapter 16 Ash, little brat? Let's have a real-life PK. Ah. Caterpie. Misty's growl never stopped in the Viridian Forest. After all, Stephanie is afraid of bugs, which is understandable, even if Caterpie is a Poké copyright Monday. Besides, a large insect Poké copyright Monday like Caterpie is more lethal to Stephanie. Ash patted her comfortingly and said, "It's okay, I'm here. I understand you're afraid of bugs. Caterpie is a Poké copyright Monday. But isn't it a bigger bug? You're a water trainer, don't tell me you didn't use bugs when feeding your Poké copyright Monday." Over the years, Ash has also understood the situation in the Poké copyright Monday world. There are humans, Poké copyright Monday, and animals, but the animals here are a little bit miserable. They are basically herbivores, and they are basically food for humans in Poké copyright Monday. Later, after asking Professor Oak, Ash realized that there are carnivores in the Poké copyright Monday world. However, compared with Poké copyright Monday, these carnivores are not good enough, so the aggressive carnivores were soon eliminated by Poké copyright Monday. The herbivores were preserved, but now they are the food of both humans and Poké copyright Monday. Okay, don't be scared, Weedle will take care of it with poison barb. Horn. With Weedle's poison barb attack, Caterpie, who had no fighting power at all, fell to the ground. Ash also took out some honey and poured it on Weedle. Horn. Weedle happily ate the honey, and then a glow of evolution appeared on his body. Ash seemed to have guessed it long ago and said, "Sure enough, I have raised it for so long but it has not evolved. What I lack is this first victory. So let me see what kind of existence you will become." As the light of evolution faded, Ash's Weedle evolved into Kakuna, and the skin of this Kakuna had the color of Orbug normal. It's really good. Then, Taikikan, you should accumulate stockpile. No. Seeing Misty still a little scared, Ash patted Kakuna's head and put him back into the Poké copyright ball. Okay, don't be afraid. After watching Ash put away the iron shell kun, Misty came out from behind Chansey and apologized, "I'm sorry, but I'm still afraid of bugs." It's okay. Everyone has something they're afraid of. No one is perfect, right? Seeing Ash's understanding, Misty said with relief, "Thank you." Afterwards, the two continued on their journey, and on the way Ash captured another Pidgeotto. After all, having a flying Poké copyright Monday can still do a lot of things. Pidgeotto, what flavor of bugs do you prefer? Compare. It said it likes bitter food, my god, you have such a weird taste. Meowth was surprised when he heard that it was bitter, because he didn't like bitter food anyway. Compare. Pidgeotto responded rudely when he saw Meowth questioning his taste. What, Meow? You said you just like the bitter feeling. Fruits, too. How weird are you, Meow? After recording Pidgeotto's taste, Ash said to Pikachu beside him, "It seems that I have to prepare more bitter food in the future. But Pidgeotto, your taste is really unique. The Pidgeottos I know don't like bitter food." Pikachu. Pikachu sighed, indicating that like Meowth, he didn't understand this unique taste. Sweet and sour is better. Misty watched Ash's actions and began to understand why Ash's Poké copyright Monday were so attached to him. No wonder Ash's Poké copyright Monday are so clingy to Ash. However, there are always people who disturb the warm scenes, so. We meet again, little brat. As soon as Ash heard the voice, he knew that he was being bullied. Who are you? Misty didn't know who they were, so she couldn't help but ask. Following Misty's question, Jesse James and Meowth appeared on stage, speaking their own lines. Since you asked sincerely, we will be merciful and tell you. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain, Jesse James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us. That's it, Meow. And after Misty knew they were Team Rocket, she couldn't help but ask, Team Rocket? Are you planning to snatch Poké copyright Monday? Jesse looked at Misty and said, "We're not looking for you, but the little brat." Brush it. As he threw away the red vest, the black sportswear that was originally hidden by the red jacket was revealed, and along with the black sportswear, Ash's angular muscles and 8-pack abs were also revealed. I've been putting up with you for a long time. You said I was a little brat, didn't you? Look at my well-trained body and say it again. Ash was also angry after being called a brat once or twice. You know, after rebirth, Ash is very strict with himself. Since he knew he would be traveling, he specially trained for a long time to deal with emergencies. The final result is that Ash is now invisible when wearing a coat, but once he takes off the coat, his well-trained body can make a lot of adults feel ashamed. Jesse and Misty were startled by Ash's sudden behavior, but then they looked at Ash's almost perfect body and then his handsome face, and both of them blushed and turned their heads away. Jesse said a little embarrassedly, "Well, I admit that you are much better than the little brat, but that doesn't mean." Swish. As Team Rocket's Meowth grabbed her, a deep scratch was left on Jesse's face. "What are you doing, Meowth? You scratched my beautiful face. Idiot, Meow. Now is not the time for you to be crazy, Meow. We are here to catch Pikachu, Meow. That's right. Let's catch that powerful Pika. I'm done with all the chirping and whining. Pikachu is a super zap cannon." Pikachu. When they heard Ash and Pikachu's voices, the three members of Team Rocket knew something was wrong, and when they turned around, they saw a huge yellow beam of light. It's Terabia Euro *3 boom. With the super zap cannon breaking through the sky, the rocket trio flew into soaring in the sky. What a disgusting feeling. *3 Ash put on the coat Ralts handed over and muttered, "What a waste of time. We'd already be out of the forest by now." Then Ash looked at Misty and said, "Let's go. Aren't you afraid of bugs? There are a lot of bugs in the Viridian Forest." Misty was also stunned when she heard this, but then she realized that Ash was taking care of her because he was afraid of bugs, so she said, "Okay. Thank you, Ash. It's okay. It's our duty to take care of our companions. Let's go, everyone." Then Ash held Ralt's hand on the left, Chansey on the right, and Meowth on the shoulder with Pikachu and Misty standing on them, and walked quickly towards the depths of the forest. Chapter 17. Pidgeotto, Charmander, you two must remember that your training is not deliberate, but needs to be integrated into your body. Compare. Hey. Pidgeotto and Charmander were a little confused, but Ash patted their heads and explained, it's to allow you to attack instinctively. Just as Ash was explaining, a figure holding a knife appeared. However, before he could get close to Ash, Meowth kicked the guy who was attacking Ash away. Ash thanked Meowth and said, thanks Meowth. See, just like Meowth, he kicks the enemy when he attacks. On the other side, the guy who was kicked away by Meowth stood up, holding his head and said, damn, it hurts. Ugh. As three figures approached, the boy in samurai costume watched as a Meowth, a Pikachu and a Chansey walked towards him with their fists extended. Boy, you dare to attack our boss Meow, beat him Meow. What are you doing? Don't come over here, dividing line. So that's how it is. You want a Poké Copyright Monday battle? Why didn't you say so earlier? I almost beat you up. After realizing that the boy in front of him just wanted to fight Poké Copyright Monday, Ash relaxed his protection of Misty. Misty left Ash's arms in a daze, with a look on her face that said, who am I? Where am I? When they were attacked just now, Ash reflexively held Misty in his arms, and Misty has been confused until now. She only knew that she seemed to be protected. On the other side, the young warrior with bruises all over his face said, your Poké Copyright Monday has already beaten me. Forget it, let's duel. The people in Pallet Town are very strong, I hope you don't hold them back. Ash looked at the boy called the warrior, smiled and said, sure, Charmander, come on. Seeing Charmander approaching, the warrior's mouth twitched slightly. He knew that he was bound to lose, but even if he had to lose with dignity. Go Pinsir. Looking at the samurai's Pinsir, Ash took out his Poké Copyright Dex and scanned it for the sake of collection. Pinsir, bug-type Poké Copyright Monday, uses the vice grip at full power. It becomes immobile when it gets cold, so it lives in a warm place. Looking at the Pinsir in front of him, Ash didn't know what to say. Could it be that the person in front of him was from the reverse attribute school? Charmander, don't underestimate the enemy, flamethrower. In line with the principle of not underestimating the enemy, Ash used his killing move directly, and Charmander also spit up red flames under Ash's command, and then Pinsir failed. Looking at Pinsir who fell in seconds, Ash's mouth twitched. You are so weak. The warrior on the other side said seriously, it's really strong. I'm going to send out my last Poké Copyright Monday. Go, Metapod. After seeing the Metapod, Ash said to Charmander, come back Charmander. Hearing Ash calling her, Charmander obediently returned to Ash's side. Ash also touched Charmander's head and said, very good performance. Now let's leave it to our friends. Kakuna. As Ash released Kakuna, the samurai couldn't help but say, you have Insect Poké Copyright Monday too. Yeah, the kid has just evolved recently, and now is the time when it matters most. I see. Come on then. Metapod harden. Then wait for the enemy to attack. Ash was completely speechless. So your Metapod can't even tackle? I'm sorry that Iron Shell Kun asked you to fight this battle, String Shot entangled it. Ash didn't want to waste any more time, so he gave the order directly, and Kakuna tied up the Metapod with Insect Silk. One last shot, throw it out. No. With Kakuna's strong swing, the Metapod flew out and fell to the ground motionless. Misty watched this abusive battle speechlessly and said, the game is over. The winner is Ash from Pallet Town. The warrior put away the Metapod and said to Ash, you are amazing. Maybe you will become a big shot in the future. Ash didn't know how to answer. After all, it wasn't that he was too strong, but that he was really too weak. This was the case when Ash asked Charmander and Iron Shell Kun to appear. If he let Meowth and the others come on, forget it, don't discourage them. It was a great game, but that's it. Just when everything was developing in a harmonious and friendly direction, a voice that Ash was very familiar with sounded, and Misty looked at Ash speechlessly. Yes, they. The warrior looked at Jessie and the others and asked, who are you? Since you asked sincerely, we will be merciful and tell you. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain Jessie. James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us. That's it Meow. Following the classic lines, the Rocket trio appeared again, and their appearance was accompanied by explosions. Ash looked at the situation and could only cover his head helplessly and said, 3 idiots, this is Viridian Forest. You know what is most abundant in Viridian Forest? Of course, Beedrill. Aren't these 3 idiots courting death by making such a big fuss? There's no time to waste with you 3 idiots. Everyone run. After saying that, Ash picked up Misty in a princess hug and ran away with his Poké Copyright Monday. The warrior was stunned for a moment and then ran away with them. Jessie James Meowth was upset when he saw Ash running away and yelled, stop. Hand over Pikachu. Worry about yourselves first. Idiots. Ash, who was holding Misty, said something that made the 3 of them fail without even turning his head. Damn it Meow. Stop right there, little brat, Meow. Meowth, I think it's better for us to run away. What do you mean, Meow? When Meowth turned around, he saw endless Beedrills, and only then did he understand why Ash took everyone away. Beedrill ah. Asterisk 3 What a disgusting feeling. Asterisk 3 Hearing the screams coming from behind, Ash hugged Misty slightly and increased his speed. Misty hold on tight, I'm going to speed up, Ralts hold my head and sit tight. Misty, who was being held by Ash, was startled for a moment, then she also hugged Ash tightly and said, alright. Lalu. Great. Everybody speed up. As Ash in his Poké Copyright Monday ran faster and faster, the warrior couldn't help but admire, what amazing stamina. It's amazing. Buzz buzz buzz. Before the warrior could finish his praise, Beedrill had already caught up with him, and he realized that he was running too slow. Beedrill. The warrior boy fell to the ground. Chapter 18. Are they all right? When Ash ran out of the Viridian Forest with Misty in his arms, Misty looked towards the depths of the Viridian Forest with some worry, the screams of Team Rocket and the samurai boy still lingering in her ears. Ash let his Poké Copyright Monday rest first and then said, "It's okay. The one called Samurai is a bug-type trainer, so there must be countermeasures. As for Team Rocket, they seem to be very durable, so they should be fine. How about Meowth? Have you found out our current location?" Meowth looked at his instrument and said, "Boss, we are out now, Meow. We will be in Nibi City soon, Meow." Nibi means grey, which is the color of stone. Nibi City has been famous for its stones since ancient times. Although I know that young people like to show off their affection, please don't stand on my products to show off. An old man was sitting below the two of them, speechless as he watched Ash hug Misty in a princess hug. Misty only realized at this time that she was still in Ash's arms, and quickly came down and said, "No, we are hiding from Beedrill. By the way, thank you Ash. It's okay. Stephanie doesn't have as much physical strength as boys, so it's reasonable to take care of her. But uncle, are these the stones you sell?" Ash said as he touched the stones and said, "I don't see many of these are mineral stones." The uncle looked at Ash in surprise, then said, "It's really surprising that you seem to know something about stones. My name is Flint, and I specialize in selling stones. But judging from what you are saying, you don't plan to buy stones to make kimchi, right?" Ash touched Flint's stone and shook his head and said, "I don't like making pickles. I have my own pickles." Ash said as he pulled out a jar from his back, opened it, took out a pickle, handed it to Flint and said, "Try it." "Oh, then I tried it, hey? It's pretty good, better than the pickles in the Chinese restaurant in Nibi City." Ash smiled and said nothing more. Could he tell Flint that Huaxia restaurant was his own business? No need. Since you are from Nibi City, it will be easy. Can you take us to Nibi City? I will pay you. If possible, take us to the Huaxia restaurant. I think everyone is hungry. Flint saw that there was no business at the moment, so he nodded and said, "Okay, let's go." Afterwards, Ash took Charm Leon and Iron Shell Kun back to the luxury ball, and then he and Misty followed Flint to Nibi City. On the way, Misty blushed and didn't say anything. Meowth looked at Misty and then at Ash and didn't say much. Pikachu kept asking Ash for ketchup, Ralts held Ash's hand obediently, and Chansey held Ash's other hand. Arrive. Under Flint's leadership, Ash and Misty soon arrived at the Huaxia restaurant. Misty looked at the huge and luxurious Huaxia restaurant and couldn't help but ask, "Are Huaxia restaurants in every city this big and luxurious?" Flint shook his head and said, "I don't know, but that's how it is in Nibi City anyway." "Well, all Chinese restaurants are the same size, but now is not the time to talk about this, let's eat first." As they spoke, Misty and Flint walked into the Chinese restaurant under the guidance of Ash. "Welcome, old boss." The two young ladies at the door were smiling and welcoming him, but when they saw Ash, they were stunned. You know, all the employees of the Continental Hotel and Huaxia restaurant knew what Ash looked like. As for whether he would be used by someone with ulterior motives, Ash was not afraid of this. The Poké Copyright Monday Alliance alone was a huge umbrella of protection, not to mention the Joy family and the Junsha family, two world-class families, and the defense of Ash's own family was even more terrifying. Ash didn't blame the two young ladies for being surprised, after all, he normally went to hotels in mainland China. "Well, get a deluxe room." "Yes." Misty looked at Ash in surprise and asked, "Ash, what do they mean by boss?" Ash said calmly, "Literally, I am the owner of Huaxia restaurant." "Are you kidding me?" Misty seriously suspected that she had heard wrongly, and Flint couldn't believe it because he knew something. Huaxia restaurant was a subsidiary of Continental Hotel, and the boss of these two companies was only one person. If what Ash said was true, then this young man who just started traveling in front of him was actually a mega millionaire who could buy a city. When Flint was doubtful, Ash smiled and said to him, "By the way, uncle, since it's time for dinner, let's eat together. This meal is on me." Okay, thanks." Later, under the guidance of a manager, Ash, his 3 pets and 3 other pets came to the deluxe room. The so-called deluxe room opened Misty and Flint's eyes. Not only was it luxurious, but it even had a swimming pool for water Poké Copyright Monday to rest. Ash naturally released his Poké Copyright Monday. "Everyone, let's get some rest. Charmander and Growlithe, do you two not allow eruption to know?" "Yes." "Woof." Seeing the two little guys nod, Ash smiled and then said, "I'll ask them to prepare a fire set meal later. You two just wait." "What set meal do you want, Meowth?" Meowth flipped through the menu and looked at it, then said, "Boss, I want roast turkey, Meow." "Okay, 1 turkey, and what about your Pikachu?" Pikachu pointed to the apple pie on the menu. Then, under Flint's gaze, Ash ordered a set meal for all his Poké Copyright Monday. Ash looked at Misty and said, "Misty, you should let your Poké Copyright Monday take a rest first. The water in the pool of the deluxe room is fine. Then you can order a water set meal for them. What about you, uncle? Where are your Poké Copyright Monday?" Is it okay to ask for my Poké Copyright Monday?" "It's fine." "Okay, mine is from the rock department, come out Goedud, Graveler, Golem." Ash looked at Flint's Poké Copyright Monday in surprise, because Ash could already tell that Flint's Poké Copyright Monday had advanced level strength. In the Poké Copyright Monday world where Ash lives, power levels are also divided into novice, normal, advanced, elite, quasi-elite, elite, champion, and legendary beasts above the champion. Now, these 3 of Flint's have all reached advanced level strength, which means that Flint is qualified to become a gym trainer. "Uncle, you are not a gym trainer, are you?" Misty obviously noticed this and asked involuntarily, but Flint shook his head and denied it. "No, the gym trainer here is Xiao Gang, and his Poké Copyright Monday are also of advanced strength level." "Advanced? I knew it. Normal trainers wouldn't be like the warrior from before. He's obviously a novice. He should be advanced like Misty." However, Misty didn't know how to answer Ash, because she was actually also a gym trainer, and the warrior before was indeed at a normal level. Misty felt that Ash seemed a little too strong, and even with the iron shell kun, he could easily beat others. What Misty didn't know was that because Ash had been training Meowth and the others, he had no idea of a the true strength of ordinary people. After all, Ash was only in contact with masters. Kiku was the leader of an electric gym, Diantha was a champion, and even Professor Oak himself was at a champion level. Of course, this does not mean that Ash is weak. You have to know that these Poké Copyright Monday of Ash have been with Ash for many years. With Ash's various nutritious foods and training, Poké Copyright Monday headed by Pikachu are no longer something that normal Poké Copyright Monday can deal with. And the guys who always go to Ash's house for free meals are not simple either. In fact, there is a kind of wild Poké Copyright Monday that is between quasi-elite and elite or even champion, that is totem, which is the level that can dominate a place. And the guys who were conquered by Ash's family because of their free meals are totem. So Ash thinks that everyone is generally strong because he is surrounded by monster level beings. Chapter 19. Oh, I'm so full. The food at Huaxia restaurant is really delicious. After the meal, Misty and Flint sat with bulging bellies, while Ash was writing something with a pen. The manager next to Ash was looking at his boss with sweat on his forehead. After Ash finished writing, he handed the paper to the manager and said, "We changed the tomato supplier. Their tomatoes don't taste right." Pikachu was not very satisfied with the ketchup this time. Pikachu, whose belly was swollen from eating so much, stretched out his little hand, made a 2 sign, and shouted, "Pikapi." Well, the tomatoes used to make ketchup are not the freshest when they are shipped. After Ash and the others came out, Misty looked at Ash speechlessly and said, "Ash, you are really strict." However, Ash shook his head and said, "It's not that I'm strict, it's a matter of integrity. I don't think this kind of merchant is a good partner. Forget it, let's go to the baby center first. I'm also signing up for the alliance competition." Good. Afterwards, Ash and his group went to the Poké Copyright Monday Center first. After handing over the fat Poké Copyright Monday to Joy, Ash began to sign up for the Poké Copyright Monday competition. "Ash, are you going to participate in the Poké Copyright Monday contest?" Joy looked at Ash with some surprise. "Well, it can be considered as training. After all, I just started traveling. There will definitely be many strong people along the way, but there will definitely be fewer strong people than those in the alliance competition, so it's good to go there and challenge myself to see where I stand. Haha, as long as you're happy." Joy didn't know what to say. As a medical family, the Joy family was responsible for helping Ash's Poké Copyright Monday recover, so they knew Ash's Poké Copyright Monday too well. Not to mention Ash's recently acquired Growlithe and Ralts Charmander, Joy knows the true strength of Meowth, who followed Ash the earliest. Meowth and Chansey are both real elite strengths. These two alone are enough to sweep the newbies in the alliance competition, not to mention Ash's Pikachu. I wonder how many people would be shocked if they knew Ash Pikachu's true strength. After the Poké Copyright Monday recovered, Ash and Misty came to the Nibby gym, but as soon as they entered, they heard loud crying. Ugh. Why? Miss Kamizile is getting married. Why? Looking at the guy who was crying while watching the news, Ash said speechlessly, "Love breakup is so terrible." Just when Ash was speechless, a child came over and said, "I'm sorry, Brother Xiaogang has been like this since he heard that a sister named Kamizile was engaged. It would be better if you wait a little longer." "Okay, thank you." "Misty, let's wait a moment." Misty looked at the sad Xiaogang who was crying and nodded and said, "Okay." During the waiting period, Ash also called some of his friends. "Hello? Brother Steven, I'm out traveling here." "Hey, where are you?" "Pikachu and the others are still trustworthy in their abilities." "Hey Sister Juer, nothing much, I just wanted to call you." "Sister Daisy, please let me go." "Don't worry Sister Diantha Ralts is in good health." After Ash contacted a bunch of people, Xiaogang finally stopped crying. "I'm sorry, I've been feeling a bit sad lately." Xiaogang felt a little embarrassed when he saw Ash and Misty waiting for him, but Ash said with understanding, "I understand. After all, the goddess is getting married. It's great that you can understand. Why is Miss Kamizile engaged? Damn it. Who is that enviable guy?" Looking at the sad and failed Xiaogang, Ash just smiled and said nothing. Could it be that he should tell Xiaogang that Kamizile's fiancé copyright is him? "Sorry, I'm getting a little excited again. Come on. The gym battle begins. Use 2 Poké Copyright Monday. Whoever's 2 Poké Copyright Monday cannot fight first loses. As the gym trainer, I'll go first to take down Guidud." Twitter. Seeing that it was Guidud who was rock type, Ash took out Charmander's luxury ball and said, "Go get Charmander, this time it's a battle of reverse attribute." Seeing that Ash actually eliminated Charmander, Xiaogang couldn't help but say, "You don't know the attribute restraint of artifact treasures, do you?" However, Ash shook his head and said, "No, I know, but it's only a matter of time before Charmander will have to fight against the reverse attribute. In that case, let him make contact as soon as possible. Charmander, don't let the enemy attack you, otherwise it will cause great damage to you." "Yes." Charmander nodded, then looked at Guidud seriously. "Since you say so, I'm welcome. Guidud, use rollout." At Gon's command, Guidud curled up and rushed directly towards Charmander, but Charmander did not move and waited for Ash's order. "Grab it." "Yes." Hearing Ash's order, Charmander hugged Guidud after he rushed over. "What? Although I thought your Charmander was very strong before, what's the matter with you hugging Guidud's rollout?" Facing the surprised Xiaogang, Ash did not answer but directly said, "Just do as I taught you before. Seismic toss will solve it." "Yes." Charmander holding Guidud jumped up high and threw him towards ground. Guidud hit the ground hard and his eyes started spinning. "It's just one move, come back Guidud." Taking back Guidud, Xiaogang looked at Ash seriously and said, "It seems that I still underestimated you, but even so, can you deal with him? Go, Onyx." As Onyx's huge body appeared, Ash said to Charmander, "Come back, Charmander, you can't handle this guy." "Yes." Charmander obediently returned to Ash, and then Ash said to Ralts who was holding him, "Go Ralts, it's your turn." Lalu. Xiao Gang was a little surprised to see that Ash actually eliminated Ralts, but he would not hold back. "Go Onyx." "You spined." "Woohoo." Onyx didn't hold back and rushed towards Ralts with his huge body, while Ralts looked at Onyx firmly. Confusion takes control of him. Lalu. As Ralts used his skills, Onyx's body stopped moving, and Xiao Gang could only helplessly say, "I knew that psychic types are really hard to deal with." Magical Leaf Euro Lalu. With the psychic of Ralts' power, the magic leafage began to surround Onyx and beat him. "Get free, Onyx." Woohoo. Although Onyx wanted to break free, it was useless. Although Ralts had always been clinging to Ash, Ash had been training her, so it was not easy to break free from Ralts' confusion. Ash saw that Onyx had been beaten almost by the magical leaf and said, "Ralts, throw it out." Lalu. Following Ralts' psychic, Onyx fell to the ground and couldn't get up. The game is over. The winner of this battle is Ash from Pallet Town. After Xiao Gang took back the Onyx, he took out the Nibby badge and handed it to Ash, saying, "That's amazing, your Poké Copyright Monday are all very strong. This is the Nibby badge, please accept it." Well, then we got the first badge. Chapter 20. Boss, is this the gym badge, Meow? Meowth looked at Ash's badge with some curiosity. Well, once we collect all 8, we can participate in the tournament. Who knows what kind of rival will be there then? Never mind, Meow. We're going to win anyway, Meow. It's good to be confident, but don't underestimate your enemy. And Pikachu, don't you think you should eat less ketchup? Ash was speechless as he watched Pikachu start blowing into the bottle again. Lalu. Okay, hold your hand Ralts, but don't do this when you grow up. Stephanie, you have to be more careful. Watching the interaction between Ash and the Poké Copyright Monday, Xiao Gang couldn't help but say, Ash is really loved by his Poké Copyright Monday. Misty nodded in agreement, yeah, Ash's Poké Copyright Monday stick to Ash. The reason why Gon traveled with Ash Misty is actually very simple. The uncle named Flint is Gon's father. I don't know what he thought after watching the game between Ash and Gon, but he actually went home and let Gon start his own journey. This surprised Gon a little, but he also has his own dreams, so after asking his father what his brothers like to eat, he caught up with Ash Misty. Ash and Misty are very happy to see Xiao Gang join the team. After all, it is nice to have adventures together. Xiao Gang also saw Ash's Poké Copyright Monday along the way. The one that caught Xiaogang's attention the most was Ash's Miltank. Ash's Miltank breeder is very good. She produces really good milk. It's troublesome to take care of him. I need massage every day. He's getting better now. After taking a photo of Miltank who was about to fall asleep due to the comfort, Ash also finished massaging it, but after that. Looking at the Poké Copyright Monday lining up to get their massages, Ash suddenly felt that practicing martial arts might be a good choice. Dividing line. MT Moon, it is said that there is a meteorite there. In order to save time, Ash and his group chose to take a shortcut, and this shortcut was MT Moon, where the legend of the meteorite fell. Looking at MT Moon, Xiao Gang couldn't help but sigh, and Ash said thoughtfully, "Meteorite? But I remember that it should be Moonstone, which can help certain Poké Copyright Monday evolve." Ah! Ash's words were interrupted by a scream, and after hearing the scream, Ash and the other two couldn't help but go and save people, so they quickly followed the scream and chased after Growl. When Ash and the other two ran over, they saw a researcher being attacked by Zubat. However, in order to save time, Ash took out Growlithe's luxury ball. Growlithe Fire Spin saves people. Woof. Woof. However, Ash forgot one thing. Although Ash's Growlithe didn't participate in the battle when it came out, it was not because Growlithe was small, but because Growlithe was trained by those Totem Poké Copyright Monday to be strong enough, so Growlithe's Fire Spin. WA. As the researcher screamed, a huge fire spin swallowed him and Zubat completely. Ash looked at the situation, lowered the brim of his hat slightly and said, "Everything is in my plan, Chansey, save them." Asterisk 2 Misty and Xiao Gang were sure that this was definitely not in Ash's plan. After Chansey treated the researcher's injuries, Ash and his team left. As for the researcher who hadn't woken up yet, forget about the researchers, we believe in Chansey's technology. However, when Ash entered the cave of MT Moon, his face looked a little strange. There were serious problems with the mining method here. Although the Poké Copyright Monday Alliance allows the mining of MT Moon, it does not mean that they agree with this method. It seems that there are some issues that need to be dealt with. Ash contacted Professor Oak. "Hey, Professor Oak, there's a problem at MT Moon. The mining methods are completely illegal and have seriously affected the Poké Copyright Monday ecosystem. You'd better have someone come take a look." "Okay, I'll take care of it." After ending the call with Professor Oak, Ash looked at Misty and said, "Someone will be here soon to take care of this." But before that, looking at the Clefairy jumping by his side, Ash took out a Poké Copyright ball and said, "I have to catch a Clefairy for a friend of mine. She wants a Clefairy to help her." Thinking of what Diantha had said when chatting with him about the lack of a Clefairy to help with the acting, Ash decided to catch one as he looked at the Clefairy passing by. However, just when Ash was about to throw the Poké Copyright ball, a person rushed over and seemed to want to stop Ash. Someone sneaking up on Meow. Meowth saw someone rushing towards Ash and kicked him. After kicking the person away, Pikachu jumped off Ash's shoulder and used Thunderbolt at the person. Ah! With a scream, the attacker fell to the ground, smoking all over. "Meow, you actually dared to sneak attack the boss, Meow." Misty looked at the man who was still smoking and couldn't help but ask, "Ash, is he okay?" "Don't worry, at most I'll just let him lie down for a while. I'll still catch Clefairy." "Wait a minute." Just as Ash was about to continue, the guy lying on the ground stood up and said, "Wait a minute, can't you just let Clefairy live here quietly? Don't you know that you will make Clefairy's life miserable?" So just let her live here quietly. Ash was stunned for a moment after seeing the sincere look in that person's eyes, and then he said with a bad look on his face, beat him. Go, meow. Pikapi. Lalu. Lucky I won fourth woof. WA. Looking at the people being beaten, Xiao Gang shook his head and said, really, how could there be such a suicidal person? Misty asked curiously, what do you mean? Why is he committing suicide? Seeing that Misty was a little confused, Xiao Gang explained, hey, you should know that my dream is to become the world's #1 Poké copyright Monday breeder, right? Yeah, so what's wrong? Ash is actually a breeder. The massage Ash gave Miltank and the others was actually a special technique. Breeders care about whether they can make their Poké copyright Monday happy. You can see how Ash's Poké copyright Monday stick to him and understand his breeding ability. But that person said, okay, I understand. He deserves it. Misty no longer sympathizes with this man. After all, he has violated the breeder's taboo, just like he has scolded Ash's Poké copyright Monday. It is normal for him to be beaten. Chapter 21. After Meowth and his friends beat up the researcher, Ash ignored him and ran towards Clefairy. He was determined to get Clefairy. However, when Ash found Clefairy, 3 old acquaintances were there. Meowth, little brat Meow. Team Rocket, does that mean you are the one who set this place up? After Ash asked this question, Team Rocket's familiar opening speech began. Since you asked sincerely, we will be merciful and tell you. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain Jesse. James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us. That's it. Meow. Ash looked at the 3 members of Team Rocket and slightly lowered the brim of his hat. Ash, who was already almost full of anger, was about to explode. So you guys are the ones who did this? Ash said calmly while looking at the 3 members of Team Rocket, but it made Misty and Brock feel bad. However, Team Rocket hadn't figured out the situation yet, and Jessie said proudly, right, we need to look for moonstones after all. Wait, what are you going to do? Seeing Ash clenching his fists, Team Rocket also felt something was wrong. However, Ash's next words made Team Rocket realize that they were really in trouble now. You all heard it, these guys are the ones causing the trouble. As Ash finished his words, groups of Poké Copyright Monday came out with unfriendly looks. You 3 are really brave. Don't you know how much trouble your idiotic behavior has caused to the Poké Copyright Monday present? Ah. Come on, brothers. Beat them up. Following Ash's order, all the Poké Copyright Monday present rushed towards Team Rocket and a horrific beating ensued. Paras kept using various stun spores to paralyze Team Rocket, Zubat bit the 3 of them, Sandshrew curled up into a ball and attacked with rollout, and at some point a group of Clefairy came out and started wagging their fingers. Oh my god. So many finger shakes? Get down. Looking at a bunch of Clefairy and Clefable using finger shakes and the obviously increasing amount of energy around them, Ash quickly protected Ralts and Misty under him, while the other Poké Copyright Monday also found their own cover, and then, boom. With a huge explosion, the rocket trio flew again. Jessie, whose hair was messed up from the beating, couldn't help but complain, why did we get beaten up before we even did anything? Maybe we really have angered everyone this time. James, with bruises all over his face, gave an answer. What a disgusting feeling. Asterisk 3 looking at the 3 people being blown away in the huge hole, Ash asked Misty and Ralts who were under his protection to come out first, and he dusted off the dirt and said, I knew this was going to be quite powerful. Seeing Ash was all dirty, Misty helped Ash brush off the dirt and said, thank you, Ash. It's okay. It's my duty to protect Stephanie. By the way, Xiao Gang. Yeah. What's this look? Ash was shocked when he saw Brock, who was almost buried in the dust. It's okay, it's just that the hiding place is not very good. Okay, be careful, but now there's another thing to do. Ash said as he looked towards the Poké Copyright Monday that lived in Empty Moon. Dividing line. Tear down that one over there. And that one too. Don't destroy where Poké Copyright Monday live. Yes. Not long after, Professor Oak came with staff and police officers, and the first thing they did after arriving was to dismantle the equipment in the cave. The Poké Copyright Monday did not attack the staff under Ash's previous instructions. But there was a more troublesome problem, that is, the Clefairy actually had a very large moonstone. And since this moonstone was discovered, it would easily become a target for some people. Therefore, Ash negotiated with the Clefairies. I know a guy who likes stones very much. If you agree to let him study the moonstone under your supervision, he can provide you with shelter. How about that? A pixie waved her hands and talked to Ash for a long time, and then Meowth beside her explained, did she say that person can be trusted, Meow? Don't worry, given that man's love for stones, he will never allow anyone to destroy your moonstone, including himself. Pixie thought about it for a moment, then chatted with a group of Clefairy pixies for a long time, and finally Pixie extended her hand to Ash. Thank you for your trust. After shaking hands with Pixie, Ash took out his communicator. Hey, Steven, I have something to show you. You might like it. Chapter 22. Ash, can you believe it? I've always considered you my best friend. Hearing the disgusting words of the silver-haired young man in front of him, Ash said with a numb face and no emotion, oh, really? Thank you for your kindness. Will Wallace be jealous when he hears it? The silver-haired young man hugged Ash and said, don't worry about Wallace for now. Come on. Ash, tell me where that huge, beautiful moonstone is. Ash was hugged by Steven and looked hopeless. He then pushed Steven away and said, okay, I'll take you to see your dream girl. But remember, you must protect it with the Clefairies. Steven was very excited when he heard that he was going to see the moonstone, but Ash still asked him to wait for a while. Then, under the stunned gazes of Misty and Xiao Gang and the habitual gazes of Professor Oak, he took out a small medical light and then looked into Steven's eyes. Meowth, give me the mirror. Meowth also took out a mirror from the toolbox and handed it to Ash. For you, Boss, meow. Ash then carefully checked Steven's eyes, and after Ash checked Steven's eyes and put a few drops of eye drops in him, Ash said in surprise, I didn't expect that, I thought you would be very tired when you came so quickly. Steven, who was closing his eyes, smiled and said, hee, I knew you would check it, so I rested well even though I was excited on the way here. Besides, you cured my eyes with great difficulty, and I don't intend to let your efforts go to waste. Ash shuddered after hearing Steven's words and then said, brother, let's not be so cheesy, okay? Steven Zevok, the son of the chairman of the Devon Company and the champion of the home region, is a Stone and Steel Poké Copyright Monday fan. He also has an eye disease, but Steven's eye problem is difficult to treat in the Poké Copyright Monday world, where medical treatment is very advanced, because there are few cases. However, problems that may be difficult to solve in the Poké Copyright Monday world are not a problem at all for Ash, a guy who learned a lot of medical knowledge for his girlfriend in his previous life. After discovering that Steven's eye disease was just a minor problem in his previous life, Ash specifically explained the treatment using him as a case. Therefore, after Steven's eye disease received timely treatment, he now only needs regular checkups to fully recover. This is also why he agreed when Ash asked Steven to help him find diamonds. If Steven didn't want to, it would be useless even if Ash helped his Poké Copyright Monday get side dishes. Now, for Steven, who loves stones, the huge moonstone is like a peerless beauty. It is so attractive to him that he directly mobilized the power of Devon Company and quickly came to MT Moon. When Steven saw the huge moonstone under the guidance of Ash and others, he was completely excited. Oh. It's so beautiful. There really is such a big moonstone. This is simply a miracle. Looking at the excited Steven, Ash patted him speechlessly and said, remember to explain it clearly to the Clefairies to avoid any trouble. Meowth, can you help Steven translate it? Meowth, who was happily playing with his new gold coin, nodded happily and said, no problem, meow. With this new gold coin, the whole cat looks cooler, meow. Looking at the happy Meowth, Ash asked Pikachu beside him, does Meowth's appearance depend on gold coins? Pikachu. Pikachu shook his head to indicate that he didn't know. Ash then said to Misty a little embarrassedly, sorry, you have to wait a little longer. I'll make something to eat. Now let Steven discuss it with the Clefairies first. However, what Xiaogang cared about at this moment was not waiting, but grabbing Ash and asking, Ash. Do you know who he is? He is Steven. Seeing Xiaogang like this, Ash said speechlessly, I know, otherwise how can I call him over? Who the hell are you, Ash? Steven is the champion of the home region. That's a champion. Xiaogang couldn't help but get excited. You have to know that the champion is not on the same level as gym trainers like them. The champion is the top figure in a region. However, unlike the excited Xiaogang, Ash said calmly, oh, it's normal to be a champion, and it's not like I only know one champion. Asterisk 2 Xiaogang and Misty were speechless. They were now beginning to imagine whether Ash's true identity was from a big family. However, they would never have thought that Ash was not from a big family. Ash's industry was all achieved with his own knowledge from his previous life and the help of Professor Oak and some other families. Of course, with Ash's current ability, he can be said to have established a family of his own. Ash, do you know a lot of champions? Misty suddenly realized that she seemed to have a very shallow understanding of this caring companion. It's okay. Actually, there's nothing special about champions. They all have their own preferences. For example, Steven likes rocks. There's another guy I know who has very poor self-care ability and has difficulty making decisions. There's another one, Ash thought for a moment and then said, perfect. On the same level as a goddess, yes. That's it. Ash felt that he might have to face domestic violence from Diantha if he told her that Diantha was a crybaby. After hearing what Ash said, Misty asked one of her idols. The Ice Elite Master Lorelei from our Kanto region. I don't know her. I'm telling you I don't know that woman. Absolutely not. Don't mention that name, thank you. Ash got furious when he heard the name Lorelei, and Pikachu beside him also tensed up. And Misty watched Ash and Gon exchange glances like this. There is a story. Ash, you really don't know Master Lorelei? She is one of our Kanto Elite Four. No. I definitely don't know that woman. I'm going to go find Brother Steven first, let's go Pikachu. Pikachu. Seeing Ash moving Pikachu to another location, Misty and Brock were certain that Ash definitely knew Lorelei, and they were even closely related. Professor Oak looked at Ash and laughed disrespectfully when he saw him get angry when Lorelei was mentioned. Oh, I'd better not interfere with Ash and Lorelei's fate. Oh. I forgot that I had already told Lorelei about Daisy getting the ring. I'm afraid Lorelei will be in Cerulean City soon. Ash, you're on your own and here in Cerulean City, a lady wearing glasses is making arrangements for her Poké Copyright Monday remember, you have to catch him later. There are some things that need to be discussed. After saying that, the lady looked in the direction of MT Moon and said, you can't escape, Ash. Chapter 23. After Steven discussed with the Clefairy, Ash and Chansey cooked a big pot of rice for all the staff. The rice tasted really good and attracted many wild Poké Copyright Monday to eat it. A Clefairy was abducted by Ash during this period. Of course, Ash made it clear that he wanted her to go to another person, and the Clefairy agreed. This Clefairy actually came voluntarily to thank Ash for helping their tribe. However, what surprised Ash was that this Clefairy had very good qualifications, and at least had the qualifications to become a totem. But even so, in Ash's opinion, this Clefairy still belonged to Diantha. After all, the ralts that Diantha gave to Ash were the offspring of champions. Kalos Alliance, Diantha had just finished filming a movie when Ash's communication came through. Ash, what's the matter? Seeing that it was Ash's call, Diantha's mood suddenly improved. After all, she had already received the dowry and the ring. The people in the family would not let go of the fat meat thrown by Ash, so there was basically no problem. Looking at the ring on Diantha's left hand, Ash smiled and then said, I have found Clefairy for you. They are willing to listen to me because I am helping them. Diantha, I hope you can accept this child. Her qualification is at least totem. You should understand what I mean, right? The lowest level is totem, so what is the upper limit? Needless to say, Diantha immediately understood the value of this Clefairy, and Clefairy is a pure fairy. I understand. I will take good care of her. Thank you, Ash. Remember what I said before. Diantha certainly remembered what she had said to Ash before, but she didn't expect that Ash would help her find such a good Clefairy a few days before she had finished speaking. There's no need to say thank you for our relationship. Go to bed early. I'll pass on Clefairy. When Diantha received the Clefairy from Ash, she smiled, then released the Clefairy and said, Hello Clefairy, I think you should have heard from Ash that I will be your trainer, so do you want to fight? Clefairy, holding the moonstone, looked at Diantha and nodded. Diantha was even more satisfied when she saw Clefairy's strong fighting spirit. Come on garde voir. Let our future new companion see our strength, dividing line. On the other side, after solving all the problems, Ash and his friends are finally reaching Cerulean City. However, the closer they get to Cerulean City, the worse Misty's mood becomes. Seeing Misty like this, Ash couldn't help but say, Misty, why don't you go to the Huaxia restaurant first, and then we can leave right after I get the badge. Misty looked at Ash in surprise, and after seeing Ash's concerned look, she felt much better and said, Thank you, Ash, but no, I also need to go back. Let me tell you, I am the trainer of the Cerulean Gym, the fourth of the four sisters in Cerulean City. Oh? Then I'll have to ask you to hold back later. Hehe, even if you say so, I won't hold back. Xiao Gang couldn't help but smile when he saw Misty's mood improved. This kind of trip was pretty good. After arriving at Cerulean City, Ash and his group rested for a while at the baby center before finally entering the Cerulean Gym. However, this time it was a little different. The flower basket gym was eerily quiet. For some reason, Ash had a bad feeling, as if he was being stared at by something scary. He also remembered that the way Sister Joy and Sister Gentle looked at him just now seemed to be asking for the best of luck. Misty, has the Cerulean Gym always been this quiet? Misty was also a little strange. That's not right. Normal, shouldn't your sister and the others be performing at this time? After hearing what Misty said, and looking at the pool that seemed to be starting to freeze, Ash's heart skipped a beat. Oh no. Meowth Pikachu Chansey, let's retreat. Ash, sensing something was wrong, ran straight to the door, but then a voice came. Cloister freezing ray. Following the icy blue light, the gate of the Cerulean Gym was frozen shut, followed by a bustling noise. Lorelei. 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 Asterisk and Ash broke out in a cold sweat when hearing the cheers from the people around him. Unlike Ash, Misty and Xiao Gang were very excited. After all, Xiao Gang liked beautiful women and Misty was a fan of Lorelei. Ash looked at Lorelei with a cold sweat and said, Master Lorelei, what's the matter? Lorelei looked at Ash with a smile that shocked Ash and said, Aira, what do you think? I heard you are going to participate in the gym competition. With your ability, it would be appropriate for me to be the rival, right? Ash looked at the smiling Lorelei and touched his hat speechlessly and said, No need, I'll say goodbye first. Looking at Jinx standing in front of him, Ash said speechlessly, Hey Jinx, I've made a lot of delicious food for you, you can't be ungrateful. However, Jinx shook her head to show that she would not let him. Seeing this situation, Ash had to take off his hat and look at Lorelei seriously and said, Stop it. I just came out to travel. Those kids can't fight with your level yet. Seeing Ash getting serious, Lorelei smiled and said, Then let Meowth and the others come. How about 3 Poké copyright Monday in the competition? Ash, you shouldn't be so low-key, you need to let everyone know your true strength. When Ash heard that Meowth and the others were to go up, he realized that Lorelei was serious, so he handed his hat to Ralts and said, Ah, then don't cry later, Chansey. Lucky I won fourth. Chansey also walked towards the battlefield with great momentum. Seeing Ash finally getting serious, Lorelei couldn't help but lick her lips. As expected, you are the most charming when you are like this. Then let's get started. At least let the people of Cerulean City know your true strength. Poké Copyright Monday Gym Battle. Rookie Traveler Ash vs Kanto Elite 4 Lorelei starts now. Chapter 24. Go Cloister. Freeze the pool into ice. Kaori. At Lorelei's command, Armor fired a freezing ray to freeze the pool, while Ash looked at the terrain that was favorable to Lorelei and said, Build the strongest defense. Defense curl plus light screen. Lucky I won fourth. Do you think I'll let Chansey build a defense? Cloister uses the spike cannon. Kaori. Countless sharp spikes shot towards Chansey, and when they were about to hit Chansey, Chansey took action first. She used defense curl to curl herself up and moved quickly to avoid the attack. At the same time, Ash also issued follow-up orders. Get close to him, rock slide. Cloister, get out of the way. Seeing Chansey approaching Cloister rapidly, Lorelei quickly asked Cloister to hide, as she was well aware of Chansey's fighting ability. Cloister also moved quickly on the ice and didn't seem to be planning to engage in close combat with Chansey. Just keep your distance and use the spike cannon. Kaori. Cloister used his ability to move quickly on the ice to kite Chansey, who could only hold up his defense to fend off the attack. Ash frowned at Cloister's agile movements, then said, Destroy the terrain. Chansey uses Bajiquin. Tiger climbs the mountain. Ash's order made the audience confused. In fact, they were all stunned just now. Although it seemed that the orders given by both of them were very easy, the effect on the scene was terrifying. Cloister's spike cannon never stopped, and everything it swept was shattered. Chansey also showed her strength, relying on flexible movement to dodge attacks and defend from time to time. Is that Ash really rookie? He and Master Lorelei had a great fight. This must be fake. Idiot. How could Cloister's attack be fake? That Chansey's speed and defense are terrifyingly strong. Bajiquin? What is that? A new move. Just when everyone was confused, Chansey showed a fighting ability that was different from her cute appearance. As her palm hit the ice, cracks began to appear, and then the entire ice surface broke. Cloister goes in the water. Kaori. Lorelei breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Cloyster entering the water. She didn't dare to let Cloyster and Ash's Chansey get close to each other. After all, Ash's Chansey close combat ability was too strong. However, she suddenly found that the corners of Ash's mouth curled up slightly, and she suddenly thought of something. Oh no. Cloyster, come out. Too late. Chansey infected the entire pool with toxic. Lucky I 1/4 as the purple toxic was thrown into the water by Chansey, Cloyster jumped onto the ice with a bad look on his face. Fix it. Egg bomb. Lucky I 1/4 taking out an egg, Chansey threw it at Cloyster, and Lorelei could only make the last remedy. Get back into your shell. Kaori. Cloyster shrank into his shell at the last moment when it came into contact with the egg bomb, but when the explosion dissipated, Cloyster was still lying on the ice with circles under his eyes. Cloyster is incapacitated. Oh my god. The first artifact treasure of Lorelei lead has been defeated. Wow. Asterisk and the audience was excited. Everyone saw this battle. It was all real strength. Cloyster froze the pool and used the extreme output spike cannon. If rival was a normal trainer, he would have been killed in seconds. Chansey's terrible destructive power also opened everyone's eyes. It was unheard of to smash the entire pool with one blow and then use toxic. Misty stared at the calm Ash on the field and couldn't help but said, Ash is so strong. Come back Cloyster, it was my mistake this time. Taking back the Cloyster, Lorelei looked at Ash and said, this time I forgot that your Chansey is toxic. So what are you going to do? There's no point freezing her again. Chansey is full of energy right now. Lorelei couldn't help but frown when she looked at Ash's Chansey. She knew that Ash's Chansey had terrifying physical strength, but she didn't expect that she would have such long endurance. In that case, Dogong go. Use safeguard. Asterisk 2 Ash and Lorelei ordered Dogong and Chansey to use safeguard together, while Ash and Lorelei smiled at each other. They all thought of the same thing. Dogong uses freeze ray. The pale light quickly shot towards Chansey, and Ash said calmly, multiple light screens deployed. Lucky I 1/4 as Chansey released multiple light screen Dogong's freezing rays, they had no effect, but Lorelei's attacks did not stop. Ice shard and then sacrifice tackle. Upon hearing Lorelei's order, Dogong instantly spit up countless ice shards towards Chansey, blurring her eyes and then hitting Chansey. Lucky I 1/4 how is it possible? To everyone's surprise, Chansey was hit by the tackle and didn't move at all. He even grabbed Dogong with his hands. Looking at the stunned Lorelei, Ash didn't say much, but directly said, throw it out. Then give him a sunshine flame. You even let her learn sunshine and flame. Lorelei didn't expect Ash to be so cruel as to let Chansey learn so many skills. Ash, on the other hand, took out a black card and said, you can do a lot of things with money. While the two were talking, Chansey had already defeated Dogong with sunshine flame. Looking at Chansey's Kamehameha moves, Ash wanted to laugh, but finally held it back. Come back Dogong, that's really too much Ash, I didn't expect you to be so serious. Lorelei wasn't angry about taking back Dogong, she just said things like little Stephanie in charm, and Ash shuddered when he saw Lorelei like that. Okay, who do you want to play next? Don't let my Chansey go 1-on-3. I'm sorry, I won't let you succeed. Don't you notice that Chansey is covered in water now? After hearing Lorelei say this, Ash realized that Chansey was already covered in water due to various ice-type skills. Ash knew it was bad because the move he and Lorelei created together would definitely hit with water. No way, Chansey. Use fire punch to evaporate the water off your body. Quick. You're too late this time Ash. Lapras freezes Inferno. As Lapras shouted, endless ice once again blocked the battlefield, and Chansey was also frozen in it, and the fire punch in her hand was extinguished. It appears. Master Lorelei's ultimate ice move. Freezing Inferno. This is the ultimate move that the Kanto Dragon Elite Yolongdo has never been able to overcome. What will Ash do? This woman actually used this trick. Ash looked at the smiling Lorelei in silence. He never expected that she would use the trick that Ash and she developed together to deal with Chansey. You're really willing to go to great lengths to deal with Chansey. Hearing Ash say that, Lorelei's smile got even bigger. She whispered, who told you that Chansey is a big tank? If you don't control her right away, she can just keep using Softboiled to respond, right? Tisk, that's why I don't like to fight with people I know. Sorry, I need to take Chansey back first. Ash came to the field and released Growlithe and Charmander and said, use flamethrower to get Chansey out. Woof. Yes. As the two little guys roasted Chansey with the flames, she quickly broke through the ice, but she was still a little cold. Ash covered her with a blanket and then asked Charmander to roast her with his tail while leading her out of the arena and comforting her, not bad Chansey, that move will hit you if you have water, and you can't do anything if you get hit, so take a rest first. Misty, help me make Chansey a cup of hot chocolate, thank you. When Ash called her, Misty was stunned for a moment before she responded and said, okay. Ash patted Meowth and said, it's up to you now, Meowth. I understand, boss. Meowth looked at Lapras, wiped his new gold coins and walked towards the arena. Chapter 25. Will it be Meowth this time? Ash has proven how strong he is before, so I wonder how strong Ash's Meowth will be. Due to the strong performances of Ash and Chansey, people no longer underestimate Ash, the so-called rookie trainer. After all, can your rookie trainer beat Elite Poké Copyright Monday? Meowth was also standing on the ice and looking at Lapras. Ash and Lorelei didn't say anything. After all, they both knew each other's strength. As all the audience watched nervously, Ash and Lorelei suddenly shouted at the same time, Lapras/Meowth, use Freeze Ray/Shadow Ball. Then Meowth and Lapras launched attacks at the same time, and the white light collided with Black's sphere, causing a huge explosion. Go ahead and use Shadow Claw. Learn. Meowth rushed out of the smoke at an extremely fast speed, with a dark aura on his claws, and grabbed Lapras. Protect. Green energy enveloped Lapras, and then Meowth's Shadow Claw missed. Lapras' body slimy 1/4 Lapras then splashed down towards Meowth. If Meowth was hit, he would be in big trouble. Dodge it, then grab it. Meowth was very fast. When Lapras hit him, he quickly dodged and hugged Lapras. Ash, on the other hand, said with a fierce gleam in his eyes, Thunderbolt. The learning machine is so useful, meow. As lightning emanated from Meowth's entire body, the terrifying electric current began to wreak havoc directly on Lapras. As Lapras screamed, the yellow lightning became stronger and stronger, but Ash did not have any intention of asking Meowth to stop. Instead, he said, Meowth, increase the intensity and watch that moment carefully. Meowth, who was in tune with Ash, of course understood what Ash meant and said with a smile, I understand, meow. Lapras, don't let me and the boss down, meow. Meowth then increased the force of Thunderbolt, while Lapras was persisting in Thunder Shock. She seemed to be looking for a certain point, and then in an instant Lapras grabbed it. Lorelei, who was in tune with Lapras, smiled and said, that's enough, let's break through, Lapras. With a shout from Lorelei, Lapras broke free from Meowth's Thunderbolt, and Meowth jumped aside with a smile, knowing that he had found what he wanted. As for Lapras, her aura is completely different now. She is no longer the top elite player, but the champion. Lorelei couldn't help but smile brightly when she saw Lapras, who had been with her since Arnold, finally break through to the championship. She smiled at Ash and said, thank you, Ash. At this time, Ash had put on his hat again, looked at Lorelei and said, you're welcome. Meowth also benefited a lot, but congratulations, Lapras is the champion. Wow. Asterisk and oh my god. We witnessed the birth of a champion Poké copyright Monday. This game can be recorded in the history of Cerulean City. Wait. If Lapras has just stepped into the championship, then the one who can suppress Lapras is Meowth. After the host's reminder, the audience finally realized what was happening. Elite level Chansey and Meowth. Asterisk and the audience couldn't help but be like this. Normally, elite level Poké copyright Monday are at least the final evolution, but what did they see now? Elite Chansey and Elite Meowth. Ash looked at the surprised audience and said speechlessly, really? Meowth and Chansey have been with me since they were little. Isn't it normal for them to have this kind of strength? It's weird that it's normal. Asterisk and Ash, who was criticized by the audience, shrugged, then looked at Lorelei and asked, do you want to fight again? Lorelei looked at Ash and smiled and nodded. Of course, everyone will agree to give you the Cerulean badge now, but you should still finish this last match. Seeing Lorelei say this, Ash also respected her thoughts. So, Pikachu. No. Danger. Just when Ash was about to let Pikachu go on the field, a vibration sound was heard. Ash reflexively rushed to Lorelei who was very close to the vibration, then picked her up and protected her under his body and ran away. Boom. Following a huge explosion, a huge machine appeared in the Cerulean gym, and Ash, holding Lorelei, looked at the machine and said speechlessly, here we go again. Then, a background music that was familiar to Ash and the others started playing. Since you ask sincerely, we will be merciful and tell you. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect world peace, love and true evil, a cute and attractive villain Jesse. James. We are Team Rocket, traveling across the galaxy. White hole, a white tomorrow is waiting for us. That's it, meow, ha ha ha. We're well prepared this time, little brat. Just hand over Pikachu. With Jesse's laughter, Team Rocket appeared in front of Ash again. But unlike Jesse, James said in a daze, hey, Jesse, it seems like we came at the wrong time. Do you know who the little brat is holding? Meowth from Team Rocket looked at Lorelei who was being held by Ash in a princess hug with some surprise and asked in confusion, who is it, meow? James said with sweat on his forehead, that's the Ice Elite Lorelei. It's the Kanto Elite Four. No way. Asterisk 2 When Jesse and Meowth saw that the person Ash was holding seemed to be Lorelei, they both felt scared. But then Meowth became bold and pulled the switch of the machine. Meow. Now we have no choice but to go ahead, meow. As the machine starts, the huge suction force begins to absorb water and various things. What will the sudden appearance of Team Rocket bring? Don't go away. We will explain it to you all until the end. Looking at such a dedicated host, Ash was speechless, but he already had a plan for this situation. Meowth, fix it. Got it. The latest machine paralyzer is launched. As Meowth took out a small gun and shot at the machine, a strong electric current ran through the machine directly, electrifying the 3 members of Team Rocket and paralyzing the machine at the same time. Very well, then, can you let me go now? Ash, who was about to take out the Poké copyright ball, found himself tightly restrained, and Lorelei, who was lying in Ash's arms, licked the place where Ash was scratched by a stone. I won't let you escape this time. Let me go. You crazy woman. How could I forget that you still have evil intentions towards me? It's because of the chaos that no one noticed it now, otherwise the scandal between Ash and Lorelei might have started. Lorelei held Ash tightly and took out a document she had brought with her and handed it to Ash, saying, sign it and I'll let you go. Ash said without even looking at it, no hope. Your stuff is definitely not good. I was so blind back then that I thought you were a gentle big sister. Who knew you were a man-eating wolf? Let go. I won't give in. No. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.